Ayy, this ain't a drill. Only time I plan is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. And you know we bout to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. 716 make them pay with some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and then talk about the Bills dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill when we talk about the Bills dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill.
What's going on? Welcome back to another live episode of the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium.
No.
What?
Nope.
After this?
Nope.
Bruh, you can't be serious.
I'm very serious. I got sodium. Where do I have to go after this?
We scored 48.
Where do I go after this, man? I got to go to work. I had to work this morning. It's not right. It's not right at all. Guys, help me reach my long-term goal of financial freedom. I need 10 subs. 10 subs.
8.
8 subs.
8
subs.
Yeah,
Okay, I need 8 subs. The next 8 people, I'm going to buy you one item from the McDonald's $1 value menu. Text me your Venmo information. I will buy you one item for all 8 people. That's it. The ones that's grandfathered in, I can't do nothing for you. But the 8, holla at me later.
Listen. The hoodies just came in the mail. That's what Caitlin called to tell me.
Okay.
So what I'll do is our 500th subscriber.
Ooh.
I will send you a custom Post Podium Podcast hoodie with the Post Podium Podcast logo on the front and a sweet all truth no sodium logo right on the back of that bad boy. It's white with the Bills colors, red, white, and blue. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do it. I'm telling you, this thing's raw. I can't wait to show it on the show. I want to do it right, though. I want to do it when all the fellas are with us. So we'll debut that when everybody can do it. It's probably going to be what, next Wednesday? Next Monday?
Monday.
All right, cool. So we'll debut it then. But 500th subscriber, we're going to send you a hoodie.
And in lieu of the dollar value menu item, you get the hoodie. So,
there you
so $7.
No,
$7. You get $7.
You cheating the system. You can't do that.
Hey, I'm a man of my word.
Because the dollar value of the hoodie, he's going to
the tax, taxation and everything. We don't got to put a whole that's paperwork we got to do. Whole bunch of paperwork.
All right, so now can we say no sodium takes?
As long as people understand I'm mad, I got to go to work.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, fair enough. Listen, Sunday was a very interesting game, and not even because of the score or any of that. But let's start here. 48-42. What's your biggest takeaway from this game in terms of outlook on the rest of the season?
The rest of the season?
Yeah.
Cakewalk City. Cakewalk City.
Of course.
And like I said, I told people, there are certain people that text me, I told you so. Hey, I didn't say I wanted to be right.
Right.
I just said, I had to clinch up. I was scared because after the Rams game, who knew what Bills team was going to show up? Who knew how many running plays we were going to run? Yeah. Who knew? I mean, look at what we did. You figure what did I say? Run a 4-3. They tried it. What did I say? Spread the ball out. Ray Davis, Ty Johnson, they tried it. Look at the offense. Time of possession, we won it. So, I mean, everything I asked for that I didn't think they were going to do, they did. So, I think I text you guys about the beginning, mid of the third quarter saying it's over with. Mm-hmm. It's over. Because, I mean, I saw enough. I knew at that point in time, it didn't matter what Jared Goff and his minions did. We had something for them. And Mario and Luigi did nothing.
Yeah.
They're not Sonic and Knuckles. They're Mario and Luigi.
That's crazy. That's crazy that you would say that after what they did to the rest of the league this season.
F the league, what they do to the Bills. 35 yards on what?
But that's because the Bills actually played base defense for once.
Well, you know what's crazy about that? They actually tried it, but then everybody got hurt, so they had to go back to nickel.
Oh, yeah.
So they actually ran four plays where they had a real base defense. 4 plays. I was like, wow, I thought it was more.
They didn't trust running the base with Spector and Williams in there?
Well, you figure Williams got hurt too.
Did he really?
Yeah, Williams got hurt. Milano was hurt. So, yeah, that's why Spector got in. So people that were asking why is Williams not in and Spector's like choking up the joint, that's why. Because he had some arm issue.
But now I remember, because Steve asked me what happened with that on like during the game, and I'm like, Williams is hurt. I don't know how I forgot that. But yeah. Okay. We have so many comments.
Let's get to them. Wow, we do.
Sweat said, "Can we leave and subscribe?" You can try. Well, we already know who you are.
We know who you are, buddy.
My man Tabonius Lex. He said, "I need someone to acknowledge the all-around good work from Kyer the other day." Can we please talk about that for a minute, bro?
Why not?
Like the
we better do it now before next week we won't see him again.
Well, that's very true. That's very true. This is just another feather in the cap of this man who does nothing but make at least one great play in every game that he's played in.
Mm-hmm.
Every game that he's played in, he either makes a great pass defense, an interception, or something that sticks out. And what stuck out to me was, I think it was either second and long or third and long or whatever, and you got he's on a Monra St. Brown, and he just jumps right in front, smacks the ball down. Like, this is one of the best receivers in the league, according to most people who study the game.
Yeah.
And this man was in his pocket, enough so to where he had enough time and speed and athleticism to position himself to slap the ball down.
Mm-hmm.
That's a key play from a great corner.
Mm-hmm. In his zone, too.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, mind you, the Bills play that hybrid zone where if you're in their zone, they'll follow you to a certain degree, all over the field. But I don't understand what the justification for keeping this man on the bench is. At this point, especially after seeing that performance in that game against that competition, if he doesn't, I don't know how bad the injury to Douglas is. But if they don't at least give Elam another game, or at least give Elam whatever time that Douglas is out, if I see Jamarcus Ingram come into the game at all and Douglas is still hurt, I'm going to have a major issue with that. And I'm going to talk about it every single chance I get on this show.
So permission to be salty?
Yes.
Get ready to get your water ready because you're going to be talking about it a lot. Oh, okay. Because it's happening. They love Rasul Douglas, even though he had a major choke job this season. They gave him the money. They're going to ride him out.
What do you mean they gave him the money?
He was a void year, so they extended him.
What?
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to be here this year. He was a void year.
Oh, this year.
Yeah.
Oh,
so they extended so this year, and then next year he's like, show me the bag. We want to show you the bag.
Right.
But they'll probably say, Kyer's going to price himself out, and we got to go find ourselves a young guy, and so they'll draft somebody, and he'll be a Christian Benford, and they'll put him in there on the other side. We got our two cornerbacks to the next foreseeable future. That's the term they like to use a lot.
But watch the guy they draft be another freaking Levi Wallace. Like, I could understand if it becomes another Christian Benford, but if it's another freaking Levi Wallace, I'm going to be hot.
It'll be a value pick, 5th round.
Of course it will be a value pick.
It'll be a value pick, 5th round.
They are not going to put themselves in a position to go through what they've been going through with people asking questions about Kyer Elam if they draft another corner high. They're not going to do that. Yeah. These are the kind of lessons that the Bills teach themselves that we don't actually want them to learn. We don't want you to learn from the mistake of having to deal with the political views and the media questions of why you're not starting your first overall pick of what, 2022?
Mm-hmm.
And no, it was
21.
Yeah, 21, 2021. We want you to learn the lesson of if you're going to draft a guy that high, freaking play him. If he's bad, let everybody see he's bad so you can be off the hook. That's what all the other smart teams are doing right now. And when I say smart, I mean in terms of drafting.
Right. Nah, it worked with Russell. We went and got Amari Cooper. So we know, we draft a guy. We just bring him in, somebody else in, on the cheap. It's all good. Yeah. We got it covered.
Exactly. That's why we don't need to draft well, because we'll just go out and sign somebody.
We'll just go out and buy somebody.
Yeah.
Which brings me to the next point, which goes back to what I don't want to come off the game, but the article I sent you in mail about Josh wanting more money. Yeah. The chickens have come home to roost.
Say it again.
Remember I sent you the article about Josh wanting more money?
Yes.
The chickens have come home to roost.
So who's saying this though?
It's a report, but honestly, it's got to be. If your agent is not telling you go for more money,
oh yeah,
then
he wins an MVP. Did Jim Kelly ever win an MVP?
No. So
he'd be the first quarterback in NFL, in Bills history to win an MVP. Get a man the bag.
So. You just got married. He grew his hair out, get a little scruffier. He became a man right in front of us.
Yeah, basically.
Getting rid of Diggs really did something to him. I want the money.
Oh, that's cold, man. Diggs, I didn't say it, bro. I didn't say it.
Hey, Diggs is my guy, but that's where it seems like. It seems like with Diggs going, now this dude, he not feeling himself, but you know what I mean. He's a little more vocal, a little more loose, a little more, which I have pros and cons for, but I'll say that for another day. No, I won't. Okay.
Go for it.
The cons to this of him now feeling himself now that Diggs and whoever else was the cancer in the locker room is gone. What if you get somebody else? You get somebody else that, everybody says the big dog is Josh Allen. We know that. But with Josh Allen's attitude, maybe he is the big dog. But it seems like you need harmony. Everybody's walking around with no shoes on. How long are they going to keep Mac around? What happens if the guy they bring in wants to wear flip-flops? What happens if he wears Timbs only? Shout out to New York. Boogie down, Brox.
Roy doesn't like that.
I'm sorry. Well, I turned my hat around just for you. So all you see is this little logo.
Right. That's why I said Roy don't like
It's a very foreign logo to me, but, it's something about a stick with a ball and it's like a diamond on the whatever. It's crazy. It's a new game I heard.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, no, I think being paid the signing to a seventh highest contract at the time was kind of egregious. That was weird. That was just that was a ultimate. Yeah, I got you, team.
Yeah.
Then when people say, "Oh, they can restructure that $63 million," no, I ain't restructuring that, Paco. Nah.
Yeah, he gonna take that 60.
He gonna take that and add some more to it.
And so this is what we were worried about when we first talked about that year of his contract next year, talking about 2025. The concern is how much of the cap, the $60 million, is going to eat up. Now, yes, the cap is going to go up this year, right? NFL has done very well for itself this season. But even with that little bit of increase, because we're generally talking about, what, maybe $10 million?
10, 15 million, usually. Yeah,
usually it's between 10 to 15 million. So even if they do get that, their number goes from what, 19 million that we said they were gonna have. I think you said like 23.
Yeah, it was like 13 million. That was what Rousseau's trade.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
It was more like 12.
So 12 million. So you're talking about $22 million if you're counting the cap bump.
Yeah, somewhere.
Right. But was that with Josh taking 60 or was that with Josh restructuring?
No, that was with the 60.
That was with the
so
60.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about $22 million next year. Mm-hmm. Where everybody seems to be convinced the Bills are going to have so much cap space. We're going to have like 40 roster positions to fill.
24 players on the team. We're going to have, we got to, yeah. So just to get in the training camp with the 90, you got to go, what is that, 46 players?
Yeah. On $22 million. So that means, yet again,
a bunch of Leon Kuz.
Exactly.
Jalen Virgils. Yeah.
And here comes everybody else. Oh, well, how much did it matter this year? This year is it's what's the word for it? It's
I'll just say it's found gold. It's found gold because
I think it's fool's gold. The league in general is not going to be as bad as it is this season.
I think that, but the reason I say found gold is because you didn't think you were going to get the output you got out of the players you got, which is Mac Hollins, which is even Ty Johnson, right? Because they signed to a 1-year deal. So that tells you Ty Johnson was, whatever he gives us.
Yeah.
He's been a major contributor. Khalil Shakir, everybody, he might be all right, but you don't know. Keon Coleman was a revelation, sort of. He had a big play on Sunday, but at the same time, it's one big play. You still got to have somebody with consistency, which is what Shakir usually is. But next year, when this is on tape, assuming Joe Brady's still here, which is a big assumption right now, you're going to have to go back to the drawing board a little bit there.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to get to where you at. So, all right. Mike Rich says, did y'all get on Dan Campbell for that dumbass call like y'all did, like y'all do McDermott, LOL? Answer to that for me is nah. Listen, for anybody that thinks that was a dumb call, you don't think momentum is a real thing. To me, those mindsets equal each other. There's no way that you can look at the decision that Dan Campbell made and not come to the conclusion of he called it because he was trying to keep the momentum that his offense had. And when you look at where the Lions were at that point, as a team in a game against a team that is thrashing their behinds. I don't want to put my defense out there again to try and get a stop. I don't. I didn't even want to have to try and do that as the Bills because I knew how good the Lions offense was.
Exactly.
That's why you needed to get ahead. That's why I talked about the mentality the Bills needed to have in this game, which they did. That's why I talked about what that mentality would lead to, which is an early lead, which they needed and they got. And then they kept it throughout the game, which I knew they would be able to do if they got a lead. You don't watch a game like the Rams game last week and think, oh, this team can't keep up with a great offense. Of course they can. The issue is, at the time when Dan Campbell made the call, the Lions offense couldn't stop anything, even at a point where the Bills weren't really trying to score. Like, they weren't calling their best plays. Josh wasn't running all over the yard. He wasn't forcing things. He wasn't stressing the defense the way he had been all game long. So in that situation, as a head coach, I would absolutely make the same call, and I anticipated that happening before the announcers even said anything about doing an onside kick. Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, at that point, what other options do you have? I'm going to put listen, 10 minutes left. I'm going to put my defense back out there. They score again. Then I'm back in the same boat. Right? Why not keep the momentum that I have after this score, keep my players riding on that high of we just scored a touchdown, we still got a chance, we're only down by 10, and give them another shot. It's worth it. The only reason this looks stupid is because a Bills player made a play. But if this had turned out in the way that most onside kicks turn out, which is the player catches it and goes down right there, they're at the 40.
Yeah.
And everybody is sitting here saying, you know what? It was a smart decision. He had to try. And the worst thing that happened at that point was the Bills started at the 40.
Yeah, see, this is my thinking behind it. No, I didn't jump on him because you had a good point, but my point is just plain and simple. We know Dan Campbell takes risks. 1 million of them.
He's been doing it for 2 years.
1 million of them. And that's why they were so bad for so long. Right. He just caught fire now. So they're what? What are they? 11-2?
No, they're
12-2.
They're 12-2 now.
12-2.
Yeah.
That's why Dan Campbell gets that shit. That's why he's got the credits and debits.
Right.
McDermott, he prides himself on being he doesn't say he's conservative, and the fans damn sure don't say he's conservative. Yeah. Fans say he's aggressive. No, he's not. However, he's conservative in his play call.
Yeah.
McDermott would never do that.
Right.
So when he did it, it's like, no, because it's not characteristic of McDermott.
Exactly. That
tells you that he went away. He got away from his game plan, his philosophy, his scheme. Everything was out the window when he did what he did. Dan Campbell, had he not done it, would be the opposite of McDermott. We'd be like, what was that? He probably shouldn't have, because we would never have expected it. Nobody expects Detroit to do something conservative because it's Dan Campbell. Look at the third down percentage, conversion percentage. Look at the fourth down conversion percentage. I wonder why. It's from taking risk.
Yep.
So, yeah, I had a couple comments. Let's see. Where can we start? Joey Sands. You guys from Buffalo? Yes, we are. Let's see. Lot Rain wants us to bench our starters. No, not yet. Not yet. Not till we lock up the number 2. We get at number 2?
Yeah, I agree with that. You still got a shot at it. And even though Mahomes is going to get his ankle shot up, so that it's numb when he plays, or not numb, but he's going to get some painkillers thrown in there. He's still got to deal with a left tackle that can't block anything. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And when you have that plus an ankle, listen, painkillers, stop the pain, but the response also is not the same as well, right? Players will tell you that, like, you can get the leg shot up, but that quick twitch response that you're used to having, it's not 100% there. Not for the body part where you just got shot at. So all of that is to say Mahomes is going to be a step slower, right? He's not going to be as mobile or shifty or anything like that. Will he be able to run? Yeah, but he'll probably only do it in clear situations or situations where he just has no choice. He's not going to be able to use it as a weapon throughout the game the way Josh could.
Didn't he have a high ankle sprain last year?
No, he had it
2 years ago?
2 years ago when he went up against Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl and he lost.
He still got to the Super Bowl and I hobbled leg. So that means it's a non-story.
That's right. Yeah. Listen, I got a fantasy notification. He went from questionable to healthy. He's fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
I don't want to depend on
scrambler,
that.
so it doesn't matter.
Right.
What else do we have? Elam was a 22 draft pick. I forgot there's a 24 we just had to draft, so you're right. What else do we have? BX in the house. Ring of Edwin. Yes. I have never been to the Bronx, but BX is in the house still. If we let Roy says if we let Vaughn go, there's dead cap involved. I ain't say we're letting Vaughn go. I'm just saying. I mean, if we let him go, it's true.
There's less if we trade him.
It's less if we trade him, or we just keep him.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the harm if Javon Solomon takes a step? What's the harm if you draft a guy to succeed him? Let him work with him. I mean, Micah Hyde's on the team for a reason. Vaughn's already on the team. You may as well pay him unless you want another big cap hit. I don't want to hear the word cap hit after Steph Diggs, the $31 million. I'm good. I'm good. Let's just leave that alone for a little bit and just use the guys who we employ and stop trying to replace everybody.
Right.
Lot range. Josh is not taking a bigger pay. Watch. I don't think he's going to turn it down.
Wait, what was the comment again?
Lot range said Josh is not taking a bigger pay. Watch.
Yeah,
yes, he is.
I wholeheartedly believe that.
And it was even reported that they already had a sit-down schedule. I didn't read who reported it, but it was reported they had a sit-down schedule after the season to renegotiate his contract.
And they should.
Yeah,
they should.
I mean, they should have never. Well, they really got pat the butt now. They screwed themselves. This is an example of when they do the wrong thing at the wrong time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they had one more year to see a landscape. Not saying Josh he was definitely getting extended. Yeah. But at the same time, you need to see what other people are paying people before you give this guy a contract.
Well, not only that, but imagine if the Bills really were bad this season.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of going 14-3 like we're about to go, we go 3-14,
mm-hmm.
right? And Josh's numbers are pedestrian. Do you really think they'd have a meeting scheduled for him at the end of the season to renegotiate the contract or give him an extension or anything? No, they definitely wouldn't. So I think a lot of this has to do with, some of this has to do with having some sort of, I don't want to say just flat out foresight, but you have to know the landscape well enough to be able to see things coming. It's what the better GMs in the league do,
mm-hmm.
right? There's a reason that Andy Reid and I think it's Brett Veach is the GM in KC.
That sounds right, yeah.
There's a reason why they went away from this greatest show on turf model that they had with Tyreek Hill. They let him go, and they immediately said, we're just going to run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
People are giving us too high safety anyway. That takes away Tyreek Hill's value. Why pay this guy billions of dollars to have him stay on the team as a number one weapon when people are going to take that away to begin with?
Right.
We see what's happening with that in Miami, right? He's probably going to be traded. Probably.
And he's going to kill their salary cap.
Not as much as you would think because there's
Tua, right?
Huh?
You talking about Tua? Well, who are you talking about?
I'm talking about Tyreek Hill.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, he's different. No, I thought you were talking about Tua. I'm like,
no, I'm talking about, they're probably going to trade Tyreek Hill, and he's got something in his contract where it does make it pretty easy to trade him. But all of that is to say, Tyreek Hill as a downfield weapon, and most of the downfield weapons except maybe Jamison Williams this season. Who was the guy earlier this season that ended up getting hurt for the Saints? I forget his name.
Oh, you're talking about Shaheed or whatever?
Yeah, Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah.
Who else? Marquez Valdez-Scantling for the Saints. So except for those guys, you really didn't hear about a lot of downfield threats. I mean, Jamar Chase would get off, but he's on a different level.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So all of that is to say, the downfield passing game in general is down from where it used to be back when, Dayball was here and Tyreek Hill was in KC and all that kind of stuff. The Chiefs saw that move coming. They saw teams playing more and more two deep safety. They more shell coverage just to keep receivers in front of them. And listen, for as much flack as you want to give, the Chiefs for getting rid of them, they run the ball just like everybody else now, and probably a little bit better because they built the offensive line to do that. Patrick Mahomes has been able to stay fairly healthy up until this season because they don't have a left tackle, right? Yeah. So all of that folds into my point of you have to know to some degree we're not going to have it this season, but neither is everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So as bad as we think we're going to be, maybe we don't get rid of Diggs.
Right.
Maybe we try to get Amari Cooper on top of that. And I don't want to take this conversation back to whether or not we should have gotten rid of Diggs. That happened. But I'm saying if you have it in your mind as a GM, we're going to be bad, but it's a pretty good possibility that the rest of the league is going to be bad too, just kind of looking around at what everybody's doing. And, I've got scouts scouting the Jaguars, and Trevor Lawrence ain't looking pretty good, so good in camp, and he didn't look good towards the end of last season, and they're not really doing anything different, so maybe they take a step back. All of the other teams that you scout at that point, you have to be able to see these things and make decisions based on that, not just you. And it seems like the Bills make all of their decisions in a vacuum. Mm-hmm. You can't look at life that way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's how you end up with situations like this where we didn't plan on winning.
Right.
We didn't plan on being 14-3. But here we are, and now we got to make the best of it. And the part that sucks about it is I am still going to judge Sean McDermott off of this. That's the part that sucks for him.
You notice everybody, him, not me. I'm only reason I say that is because they were like, y'all leave McDermott. I'm like, I didn't say fire. I just said what I said.
Again, I'm trying to be very honest and very open about this, and that's why I said it like that. It's unfortunate for Sean because this was supposed to be a year where he gets a pass.
Right.
It's a bad team, but because everybody else is bad. Now you got to prove it, dude. I'm sorry. You got the best quarterback in the league right now. He's having an MVP season. You're stuck. You have to prove it now.
You know what he can do? He can fire Brady for making it so. He can fire Brady big time for making it so.
Or go into Brady's office, yell at him, and then go fire Smiley. that would be the Sean McDermott thing to do.
You lucky. You are lucky. Smiley, get in here.
That's right. Fire him right in front of Brady too. This is your fault, Brady.
This is on your hands.
That's
right. Done. Playbook here now. All your punts, all your field goals, gone. Everything's out of here.
And while we're at it, Bass, get in here.
Hey, you got a playbook too? Oh, you're done too. You'll never kick in this town again, son.
Matter of fact, take your cleats off and give them to me right now.
Let me see. This is why you suck. Look at the cleat. This is why you're terrible.
Brady's sitting in the chair in tears because he got people fired.
He's like, am I next? What is going on?
No, he's wishing he was next
like,
after getting his brother's fired.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right. Those are the kind of mind games that Sean likes to play.
This could be you next.
Right. Bone said, got to make an example of somebody. Damn right. You got to do it. You can't be walking around here doing all this winning and then think, people ain't going to get fired because of it.
Oh, yeah. Steve Noble wants to know the hoodie's going to be purchased online.
So once we get to 500, that opens up the YouTube store. So what we'll do is we'll make the hoodies. We're going to have hoodies, T-shirts, hats, all that. That's going to be made available on the YouTube channel. So you'll be able to go right to our channel, I can make it available on social media too, but it's probably easier to just have it all in one central location.
Yeah, we want y'all to know it's on up and up. Everything's legit.
Yeah. So it'll be available right on the YouTube channel. You just go right there and, the selection, you'll be able to scroll through it and all that and select whatever you want and get it sent right to your house. Easy peasy.
Yeah, so Nate, I got a bone to pick with you. You said Mac the Knife. No. His name is already one of two things: Maxwell Hollins or the podiatrist.
The podiatrist is the name.
The podiatrist. I mean, when I text these guys, I'm like, Maxwell. I don't know. I do weird stuff with names sometimes, but they understand and they appreciate it sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm just strange like that.
This is probably the one opportunity he's needed his whole career.
Seriously.
Being here with this quarterback and this team in this environment.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the fact that, you don't have a clear-cut number one.
Yeah.
You have an offense, obviously, that's geared towards your skill set. Obviously, by drafting Keon Coleman, they want what you have to offer. So, yeah, this is a great signing, and hopefully, they can work something out for him to come back again on another one-year deal. I know some people were against it, but I think, why not? We just got rid of who we get rid of? We just got rid of Casey Toohill.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I'm sure he'll be back in the practice squad.
Who did they call up?
Tyler Grable came back off IR.
Oh, yeah.
He's off IR. And they also moved Jalen Virgil and Will Clapp to the practice squad, getting rid of Branson, Dean, and one of the receivers. I forget which one. I think I don't remember the name. So they're back. I'm surprised he got rid of Branson Dean when they could have kept him and got rid of Zion Logue. I guess they think he offers more as a nose tackle. But that's what Dean does as well. So I would have probably kept Dean, even though I did like Logue in the draft.
Yeah. I think Dean's a little bit better of a pass rusher.
Yes. And he also played one take at Miami, so I figured they would keep him.
Okay.
But whatever.
Yeah. Sunny Sun Brian says, get out of that Von Miller contract, please.
No.
It's gonna have to happen through trade.
Well, I mean, yeah, you could do, but let's face it, Von Miller has not been entire fire this year, by any means. So this is not the year I'm really trying to cut costs. In a lot of ways.
Yeah.
We have some money. We don't have a lot. We don't have a little. We have some money, and we can make it more, not much more. But I don't want to do all the roster gymnastics. Leave it as is, and keep going. If
they extend Josh, I mean that probably opens up a pretty good chunk of money.
If they extend Josh, yeah, which they should.
That's probably why they're doing it.
On the back end, they have to. They just got to give him more money. I mean, you figure, if I was Josh, I would have. Honestly, I would have waited to see what Lamar got coming off an MVP season. I would have waited to see what he got.
Well, he just got paid. He's getting.
That's what I'm saying. They're the same year, so they should have got paid at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
So if I was Josh, Lamar's going to be way up there. So I'm like, I want to see what he is. I want more.
Yeah, but I like the leverage he has now. Like I'm all for Josh getting every dollar he deserves. He's got the ultimate leverage. Like there's no way the team cannot pay him exactly the number he says.
I mean, I feel like that was already the case. I thought Josh already had. You got to look at this is what works in Josh's favor. Once again, I call it always the reminiscent Buffalo Bills fan base. Mm-hmm. Not what have you done for me lately? What have you ever done for me in your history of existence? And that's a lot for Josh Allen. So whether it was then or now, he was going to get the money because the Bills is just like that.
Yeah.
And to your point about McDermott, I'm no longer even going to mention his name. I'm not even going to listen to anything about this dude. You hear about the Sabres today?
No.
I don't know if it was today or yesterday, but they had a team meeting with Pagula involved.
Really?
Where they assured the players there would not be any big trades. We're going to stay the course. We believe in this room. Yeah.
What are they smoking?
On the heels of a 10-loss, 11-loss streak.
And some of these games they have the lead in.
So that's why when people talk about McDermott, I get it, but it's the culture of the front office as a collective. Why is Kevin Adams still here?
Can you imagine you in that locker room? Yo, we need some help, man. We need some help real bad. I don't know what the hell is going on with these players right now. We need some help. Hey, guys, gather up, please. We just want to make a quick announcement. Listen, we believe in y'all so much that y'all not going to get the help that y'all think y'all need. We think y'all can do it by yourself.
You and you alone.
So much so, we fired a couple of the assistants too. They're gone. So now it's all on your shoulders because we believe in you so much. Like they might as well be saying this stuff to the players.
Yeah. Yep.
That, this is how we ended up in the situation we were before, where players just didn't want to come here at all.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I was listening to Lindy this morning on the man. That dude sounded like he was already gone. I was like,
I'm too old for this.
Right. I'm like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't been able to watch the Sabres game this season, but I'm seeing why I'm glad I haven't, because this is a bit. It's not even the fact that they're bad. It's the fact that they brought in a retread coach from your own team,
right?
With an owner that believes so much in you guys as losers on the heel of the longest losing streak you've had in quite a while.
Never mind the fact that you were the ones that ran him out of town.
Yeah.
We're so glad you came back to save us, Lindy. Yeah, right. The day after you kicked me out. Okay, that's right. Listen. If I was, Lindy has to be one of the nicest dudes on the planet Earth to take a contract to come back to a city that ran him out the way that we did. They talked so much about him.
They did. They tore him to shreds.
You know what I'm saying?
They tore him loose.
Only to watch him go to Houston and put the biggest middle finger in the face of Buffalo fans that you could possibly do and take the Dallas Stars to the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, Dallas Stars, yeah. And the funny thing is I started to see him often because he still lives here. or he still has residence here. So I see him all the time. Yeah. He lived here when he was coached down there. So I saw him all the time. And I was like, why is he still here? He loves Buffalo. Okay, but they screwed you. And not even saying you're a good coach, but that'd be one of the deals where I'm not coming back.
Right.
I'm going to Anaheim. I'm going to go to Utah. They just moved. I'm going there.
I can go anywhere. Why would I like that again? He has to be one of the nicest dudes on planet Earth to accept that contract. Like that there has to be a serious love for the city. All right, I'll do it for the city.
Right.
Like that's all that is. Nathan Oliver, welcome to the show, my man. He said, and I know you've been here before. I'd like to say that. He says shut up, Keyshawn. He says the podiatrist versus Brownies, the Barefoot Wonder. I'm undecided on the best. The Barefoot Wonder is trash.
I was go with Key.
Right, go with the podiatrist, please. That's the Barefoot Wonder.
What the hell is that?
Right, what is this, the 70s all over again? Like, this is how we're naming our superheroes now? The Barefoot Wonder. Get out of here.
If you're checking this podcast out, love your work. That's horrible. To get to Roy's comment about Vine has the biggest cap hit next season, if I'm reading this right. Okay, so you said that. Makes Vine a post-June 1st cut. You can get $17 million back in the cap and less than $7 million in dead cap.
Yes,
so,
that's the move.
Vine is a $23 million cap hit, $23.8 million cap hit next year. So if you do that, you're looking at a $14 million now, about 14. So you could do that, but like I said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to use my card on this one. Who's going to replace him? No. Because you got to look at it like this.
Javon Solomon, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But I already count him in though. That's my rotation right there. Javon and Vine, Rick Havoc on that side next year. Then after that, you do what you will. But are you going to go get the guy from Tennessee in the draft? You're going to go get the guy from Penn State. What are you going to do to replace him? Because you're not. Well, I'm not running with Rousseau and Epinesa. I'm not doing that.
He said, I'm not doing that
at all.
Sean likes to invest in his defensive line. I'm certain they will go and get a pass rusher in this draft.
It better be a real pass rusher too. Because they told us Rousseau and Oliver.
Solomon is a real pass rusher?
Yeah, they lucked into that one because he came from Troy. Who's here? Hear ye who's still around? Who's the Solomon guy? He has 16 seconds. Bring him aboard, and we're going to bench him.
Wait. What school did he go to? Oh, okay. I thought you said Tennessee. Tennessee's
did you say Troy? Is that SEC? Brian, SEC? No? All right.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Push the button.
Right. Trey says the Barefoot Wonder sounds like that backyard wrestler in the hood.
Yeah. Yep.
That's right.
Yep. The one with one shoe on.
That's it. Mm-hmm. Yep. He goes from wrestling in backyards to panhandling on most corners.
Yeah, he sings songs on the corner of Genesee and
with one guitar string. He just ties it from his thumb to his toe and he just strums it on the corner. I don't even know how he goes to different keys. Maybe he plays it higher.
Yeah, you got to hit the tensions up. When you're a pharmacist, you know how to do things. Trust me. He's not a pharmacist, but I can't say what he is on this program. So, guys at home, you can fill that in however you would like.
You know what? Ariel Legrande, welcome to the show. He says, what?
Nice name.
I know him from Tommy's show.
Okay.
He says the original Nick Tarzan is kind of simple, but really fits. Yeah, but Tarzan feels like it should be for a number one receiver.
Or somebody's really crazy.
Oh, well, no, not even that. If he was a linebacker, yes.
That's what I'm saying, like a Troy Polamalu kind of. Yeah, that's Tarzan. If he was a
safety or a linebacker,
feels no pain.
Exactly. Yeah, but for a receiver, you got to be better than that.
Yeah. The podiatrist. Yeah.
Yeah. The nobody gets ooh ah when you hear the podiatrist. No. You know what I mean? It's just you going there for a real problem.
Some work.
Right. You want to get some nasty work.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Nathan said, all right, y'all convinced me.
Yes.
Cool. That's all we needed. So there's a few things that I wanted to touch on too. We talked about the onside kick. We talked about the Bills' mentality in this game. Listen, as soon as I saw Josh scramble in the first quarter, and then on top of that, there was a called run play for Josh, I'm like, oh, okay. They came here to win this game. They not playing around. And here's the thing. This is the thing that I hope we continue to see.
Mm-hmm.
I hope we continue to see a what? Bro, what? What happened? Your boy?
Nah, Nathan Oliver.
What'd he say?
He said Rex Ryan might sue for copyright infringement.
I'd like to see him try.
Oh, boy.
I'd like to see him try. ESPN is not paying him that much these days. So I think, and this is why I titled the episode, Does Sean See It Now? Hopefully, the viewpoint is we have to win with offense. We can't play calls and make game plans with the mindset that this defense is going to shut people down. Not in the playoffs. That's part of the reason why the playoffs have been so difficult for the Bills. Think about how the seasons have gone for the Bills, where we're just 13-3 and 12-4 and whatever other 10+ win seasons we have. Like, we have all of these low loss seasons because we're for the most part dominant throughout the season. We have 3 or 4 bad games here and there, fine. Usually those are losses, but that's it, right? But that's because we're able to play that way during the regular season. There aren't as many good quarterbacks spread out throughout the entire NFL. There's not 32 of them. It's probably only about 10 to 15. Mm-hmm. Tops. Even that might be pushing it, right? But all of this is to say, once you get to the playoffs, everybody good, baby. Mm-hmm. Everybody. Yep. So if you understand the way that you've beat 2 good teams is by being aggressive on defense, getting a lead, and holding that lead, holding serve the whole rest of the game, that's your formula. That's how you have to do it, right? And even though teams know you're going to try to do that, I think the Bills have the pieces necessary to do that at will. They have the pieces necessary. Like it's a defense full of players that fit the scheme well enough to where if they execute that scheme in that way, mm-hmm. it will work. And I don't think there's a quarterback in the NFL with enough of an offensive line that could withstand what the Lions saw on Sunday. Yeah, I don't. I will say this: one of the fundamental flaws of the Lions is Jared Goff. I was talking to my pop about this that night, about an hour after the game. Jared Goff is the weak link of that offense. For as much as he does with that team, once the play breaks down and he needs to make a second chance play or he needs to make an off-script play, he is not as good as a C.J. Stroud or a Josh Allen or a Patrick Mahomes or a Jalen Hurts or even a Russell Wilson at this point is better at off-script plays than Jared Goff is. And that's saying a lot. It's saying a lot. Whenever Jared Goff is forced to be a drop-back passer, which is what we did to him on Sunday, this is what it looks like. He's not as effective. The offense doesn't just hum. The defense is in shambles right now. Mm-hmm. They're in shambles right now. They got 17 players hurt. And when you have a team that's built like us, where the defense is really not the strength, man, all you got to do is just get a touchdown lead and hold serve. It's easy. At some point, they're going to be forced to make a mistake because they're trying to play catch-up. That's what the Rams did to us. The same exact thing that we did to the Lions is what the Rams did to us last week. So we know it works. We've seen another team do it to us with our defense. You know what I mean? So I say all this to say I really hope that Sean has it in his mind now. This is how the Buffalo Bills win games, especially in the playoffs. Regular season, fine. You want to try to win with your defense? Go for it. You'll pay for it, but go for it. But in the postseason where it really counts and you have to have wins, you have to really be honest with who you really are. And right now, we're an offensive team with a defensive problem. Thoughts, concerns, questions?
No, questions, man. I think I agree. I mean, I as a defensive guy, I'm good with For the most part, I'm good with everything you said. I still want my defense to be able to stand up when it needs to.
Yeah.
Because you're not 48 points is great.
42 this past week and 44 the week before.
See, okay, so you're allowing 44 points and 42 points. Now, if you come against a defense that figured this out,
yeah,
that your offense ain't gonna be doing that, and defense isn't good enough to reduce the points. I had somebody text me that their prediction to the game was I think like 28-17, and I was like, "There's no possible we're gonna hold the Lions to 17 points." But somebody also asked on X, they said, how many points did the Bills have to score in order to win this game? And I said 36. Because I figured the Bills will allow 35 points, which is pretty much what they did, except for the last Amon-Ra touchdown. And it was indicative of a time where we have everything on offense hitting on all cylinders. Everything has it, and that's just not fair. It's not. You should be able to rely on your offense to do it, but you should have a defense that can hold their part of the bargain as well. Yeah. So that's why when I heard, when my friend texted me, he said, Josh and Terrell they fought. They didn't, but he texted. I'm like, I wish they would. Because through the whole drought, what did we hear? I mean, you said you entered the Phantom in the drought. So in the drought, you always heard one side of the ball is always the other side down. It was never both of them. It was never both of them being great or bad. One side was always holding the other side down. And I don't want that to happen again, especially when you have an offense that's hitting like you're hitting now. And my pushback on the whole Josh Allen thing this year is not even about Josh. It's just the fact that nobody mentions the other 10 people on the field with him. Right. Josh Allen has 3,300 yards this year or something like that. 60% of those are yak yards. 60%. He's in the pocket the second lowest amount of time in his career during the Josh Allen era. Ninth lowest for any quarterback playing since 2018. If you're looking at a team that has the lowest drop percentage they've had since 2018. You're looking at an offensive line that's in the top 5, top 6 for the first time in forever. Dawson Knox is making plays. You got a 3-headed running back. What are we naming? Sneaky Joe put on X. What are we naming this trio? Who knew?
Right.
Who knew we had to?
Right. Exactly.
So like every time I kind of diminish Josh, it's not because I don't like Josh. It's just that there's so many other pieces out there with them that are doing their thing, and I just wanted to get credit as well. James Cook, he's got the third all-time highest rushing touchdown total right now. With 3 games to go, he can actually beat O.J. Simpson.
Wow.
He's got 13. O.J. had 16 rushing. He could do it. Josh Allen is the second. 2 in one game and 1 in the others. Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, okay, we got these pieces. You saw what Ty Johnson's done for us the last 2. Without Ty Johnson, where would we have been the last 2 games? Without Mac Hollins and his constant first down production, constant chain moving. I mean, this is the lowest. Everything about what Josh is doing now is like, to an aficionado, because you're looking at. He's doing the least amount of work that he's ever had to do to get better results. Now, this is one of the highest flying teams in the league, so yeah, you should get MVP. You're the catalyst. Right. You're the catalyst. But when I hear the neglect, the utter disregard for everybody else is playing on the field, I'm like, yo, come on, somebody got to give him some flowers. Somebody got to give him one for the underdog. And Deion Dawkins said it. I don't want to start no beef, but we the best offensive line in the league. Right now, whatever. Right. Maybe you're not the best, but you up there somewhere. Feel yourself a little bit. Because like they said, I mean, you're right. And Matt would attest to it because I sat with him when we watched the Rams game. You're not sacking Josh. He's going to get away from it.
Exactly.
But at the same time, put him behind a Swiss cheese offensive line like Fitzpatrick had, and Eric Wood talked about it. He said, we weren't that great, but Fitz's release was so fast, it made us look better.
Yeah.
And Josh can do all this crazy stuff. He's running out to the side, getting plastered by linebacker to linebacker. Would you stop? Because you're gonna. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, every once in a while, sure, but you run out there.
I mean, listen, if he makes that play in the playoffs,
it'd be great.
Great. So listen, get plastered.
Well,
to do whatever it takes.
Well, the thing about him getting plastered is he has to go to the X-ray room again. Like, what was that about?
He probably had a little tinge of pain and he wanted to get it checked out. That's what they said. He
I know
just
they
wanted
did.
to get it checked
but
out.
When Josh Allen's out there playing with a glove because he broke one of the bones of his hand, he's got these fingers taped together. But now you got to go to the X-ray room. I'm like, yo,
I can't when Mahomes goes and wins the Super Bowl with a bum ankle against the Eagles.
Right.
And his biggest contribution in play in the Super Bowl is running for like 20 yards or something like that on that bum ankle to get it inside I think he got it inside the 10 or something like that at that point, and they scored the go-ahead touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Like, Josh, play with the broken fingers, play with whatever you got. You know what I'm saying? Go and win the Super Bowl and play with more injuries than what Mahomes has so that people can say you did more with less.
Well, to my point, what I'm saying with that is, guys, Josh doesn't complain.
Oh,
Josh
yeah,
doesn't.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
when you got, I feel like I need to go get something checked out. We've seen Josh go to sleep on the field. Oh, we saw it. Don't ignore it. He got through it and said, "I'm fine." Came out of the tent like 28 seconds. After the game, I think I need to go get some X-rays. Nobody just says, let me get that in a Lyra's high C. They don't do that. So there was something that he was feeling that absolutely was not right, and they worked it out. They have a plan for it. Not saying that he's not going to gut it out or anything like that, but I think for this team, the fact that you can rely on any one of your three running backs to run the ball inside the 5, you can rely on any wide receiver you put out there to make a play. You can rely on. Alec Anderson to come in and block. You can rely on Vandermark coming in. There's so many interchangeable pieces, and it does lead to somewhat of the defenses in the league not being that great.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we've seen this before where we tried to put pieces in and just stunk up the joint. So I mean, it goes both ways, and I just wanted to give him a little shout out for that.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. My mom was like, nervous when Spencer Brown was down and coming off the field, and we had the backup going in there, and I'm like, my mom was like, I was like,
right.
I don't know. It depends on who's coming in.
Right.
Let's see who comes in. And then they said, it's Ryan Vandermark. I'm like, we good.
We straight.
Yeah, right.
We good.
We ain't got to worry. Like, and that's something I'm not used to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because usually, especially during the drought, one of our starters goes out. Whoever we got behind that guy he's worse than Dookie Juice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Way worse.
Right. So, knowing where the floor for this team is, this is the highest floor offense and defense I think we've had since Sean has been here.
Yeah, yeah.
The highest floor offense. You know what I'm saying? So I think the outlook feels good. And I think my man Tabonius Lex said, he said something. He said, Sean said in his presser, this is how we need to play moving forward. I say if he continues to coach the way he did this week and against the Chiefs, then we can win the Super Bowl. That is exactly my sentiment. Exactly my sentiment. I was saying it after the Chiefs game. If this is how the Bills can choose to play ball, then we have the best shot we've ever had at winning the Super Bowl. I don't want to go out on a limb and say we're going to, you know what I mean, because there's still some pretty tough competition in the AFC, and I don't want to overlook that. I don't want to, because I know what the fundamental flaw of my team is, I don't want to overlook that. We could easily see a Ravens team that comes in here and just bulldozes through the run game and makes the game easy for Lamar Jackson, right? But, man, listen, this is by far the best team that we've had with the best shot to win a Super Bowl, and frankly, I was listening to Nick Wright talk about it earlier. He equated this year's Buffalo Bills to the 2018 Chiefs and how they went on to lose to the Patriots in that AFC Championship game. Listen, whether it's here in Buffalo or it's there in Kansas City, they don't want to see us again. Not with how we just played on Sunday.
Right.
There's nothing they can do to stop that offense. And frankly, the Chiefs didn't see that offense when we played them here. Right? This is a cold weather team. They know how to play through the weather, so playing in cold in Kansas City is not going to affect us. Josh Allen is who he is, and the offense is what it is. So all you really need to do is get a lead. Right. That's it. They're not going to stop you and take back the lead, right? Sean was pretty good with his clock management in that game, just as well. You know what I'm saying? So if that's the team that we have to go through to get it, I'm not worried at all.
Right.
I'm not. Now, if it's another team, that presents a whole nother set of challenges and stuff like that, because as we've seen, I think Sean gets in his head a little bit if it's not a team that he's very familiar with. You know what I'm saying? So that that might be a little tougher. But man, all this is to say that this should be a very interesting year to see what the Bills do in the playoffs, because even last year it was like we just need to be thankful we were in the playoffs. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the year before that, same deal to me. We needed to be thankful that we were in the playoffs. For what all the numbers said about the offense being better, it didn't look that way. Right.
Kevin Kaiser, what's not true? What are you talking about? You said not true. Josh Allen has 10 touchdowns in 2 games. The writing's on the wall. What do you mean?
Where did he say that?
Little towards the
not true, but Josh Allen has 10 touchdowns in 2 games. The writing's on the wall.
Not sure. I said a lot. I didn't look down. I should have looked down.
Yeah.
Sorry. Respond. I'll go Harge and KK. We got KK and Harge in there. We got 2 Kevins. So
okay.
Areola Grande. That name's gonna get me. This is gonna get me. And let's see. Vu Gaming said we're saving the blitzing for the playoffs. Don't want too much on film. I got a little stat on that. Now I don't know if you want to hear that.
Yes,
Vu,
please.
But, let me just let me pull this up for you because I wasn't key. Okay, so under the McDermott era, the Bills, when blitzing 10 or more times, the Bills are 43-13. When they blitz 11 or more, 36-13. When they blitz less than 9 or less times, they're 32-23. And that's regardless of whether they get a sack on the blitz or not.
Wow.
There's a stark disparity. And he does not blitz that often more than we talked about it. All the playoff games, he blitzed, I think it was 9 or less times, almost all of them.
Yeah.
So all the losses, obviously. So what's that tell you? Blitz more.
Right.
Blitz more. Even if you don't get there, blitz more, because your back seven is good enough to
make them pay.
To make a play.
Yeah.
So you gotta come out of that. So you're gonna get beat sometimes, but you got to be willing to do it.
Right. Exactly. That's it. Interesting question. Super promo. He says, who's better, 13 seconds Bills or this year's version? You go first.
I'm sorry. I had a comment too. What did you say?
Oh, you good. Super promo says, who's better, 13 seconds Bills or this year's version?
This year's version.
I agree.
This year's version.
I agree.
The reason why is because the 13 seconds Bills were amplified by Gabe Davis' performance in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And you knew it was going to be one of 2 people. You knew it was going to be Gabe Davis or Stephon Diggs. Gabe Davis was playoff Gabe, as Matt likes to call him. But this year, who's the playoff guy? There's a bunch of them. Anybody can take over a game. You've seen Mac Hollins have good games. You've seen Khalil Shakir have good games. 70. Keep that. You've seen Khalil Shakir have 70 receptions this year. You've seen Keon Coleman go off on people. Terry Woolen. I'm sorry, Reek Woolen.
Reek.
James Cook. Who haven't you seen go for one this year?
Yeah.
So you don't know where it's coming from. You can't game plan it. This is exactly what you want to see.
Right. That's exactly right. This offense looks, sounds, and feels dominant. That offense in the 13 seconds game was really Josh going into overdrive and just like becoming the beast for the first time. You know what I mean? I think that's the first time we saw this unstoppable beast. Now he's just used to doing it.
You know what's funny about that? I will. Okay, this is where timestamp this because I'm never doing this again. I will give Gabe Davis credit for that.
Whoa!
Because you figure
why?
Okay, so anybody that's played, I'll use basketball because that's all I know. I play defensive line, so it doesn't count. When you play in a basketball game and you go en fuego, like you just said, right?
Uh-huh.
What happens to the rim? It becomes the size of this room.
Yeah.
It's like throwing a pebble in this room.
Yeah.
I can throw it anywhere I want, and he's going to come down. And for Josh's mentality, after a couple, I'm going to throw it Gabe is there. F. Diggs, Gabe is somewhere. Catch. 4 touchdown catch. 200 yards catch. I mean, it wasn't multiple, a huge volume receptions game.
Locked Rain said, did he really just say Gabe Davis?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did. I fell and bumped my head. I told you, no sodium. I did say sodium. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I mean, I think when Josh was finally given the ability to say, you know what, I can pretty much do what I want, and it's gonna work.
Yeah,
that's when that Superman comes out, and it takes more than one because he never did. Watch him in college. He didn't do that. He ran.
Yeah,
he did all that crazy stuff, but throwing like that, nah.
Yeah,
Josh's final bowl game, he threw for 157 yards, right. And I forget who they played, but it was not a huge team. Yep. 157 yards, and I said, oh, that's who we drafted. Coming off of Tyrod Taylor, I was like, "You got to be kidding! Not again!" But obviously, you know, when we first got Josh, it was like, "Oh shoot, we got a 250 yard game." Yes. Oh, snap, it's a 300 yard game, a 400 yard.
Right.
Okay, we good.
Right.
You know,
we got the guy.
We got the guy.
Yeah. Nate, you don't like the Red? You don't like the Reds, man? He said he don't like the Reds. He's talking to Roy, but I do. What's crazy about that? Did you see what? Who posted that?
What?
Who posted that? Oh, Roy, so Roy said red jerseys, white pants, red socks, and white helmet for the Pats game. What y'all think? Man, I love it. Whenever I play Madden, I actually do the red helmet. I do the '90s Bills red helmet, right? So the 2 white stripes, blue stripe in the middle, with red in between. You know what I'm saying? The white and the blue. And then I do red jerseys, white pants. With the I do the solid red socks, the 90s red socks, and I think it's a dope uni. I think it's a dope uni. I really hope they stick with that. That's a fire uniform there, the red with the white. Man, that's a dope uni. I really hope they do that more consistently.
Ariola Grande said the 13 seconds Bills lost to Urban Meyer 6-9, automatic disqualification. Okay.
Oh, that's cold.
That's wild.
You ain't have to take it back there.
That's wild.
Yeah, I mean,
old wounds.
Yeah, I mean, especially when Triggs is saying, well, in 2021 we had a more talented wide receiver room than we do now. I don't know if you can say that from top to bottom, but the top was better.
Yeah, talent wise, yes. Effort, no.
Yeah.
That's who can you rely on more? I mean, yeah, Gabe Davis on paper was supposed to be talented.
And aging Emmanuel Sanders.
Speed. Yeah. You know, was Beasley there?
Yes.
Beasley. So on paper, yeah, sure. Talented.
Right.
You know, because nobody gave Khalil Shakir. I mean, I talked about him all last year. I said, yo, he's our number 1 receiver. And, you know, nobody was saying, I mean, I'm sure somebody said, but I know I didn't hear it that often. Yeah. I heard we need a number. I said, I mean, you want another target, but Khalil's our number 1 guy, even in the slot. You know, so it's just the fact that now you're looking at Amari Cooper, and this is the funny thing about the Bills fans. We just won 44-40 or 48-42 against a team that most people were like, well, a lot of people still had faith, and you know, the national media thought we were going to lose, and the Bills probably went in series. Said, you know what, this is a game we have nothing to lose. Let's go all out.
Yeah.
And then Bills fans are still saying, why didn't Amari Cooper get a target? What? Who cares? Who cares? $860,000. I don't care where he is. We won, and we won convincingly. I mean, it just goes back to we don't need one person. And I hate that I'm feeding this the company line because they said this. Everybody eats. They said that nonsense. But because Amari Cooper's on the team and it's a name, feed him. It's like the guy that calls another time talking about feed the pit. Every time, every Friday or whatever the guy calls and like keeps chanting feed the pit. Not saying feed Cooper. No. Win a game. And I think that's the crux of where I am. You know, when it comes to, you know, Josh Allen MVP debates and all this and all that, who coach of the year. I don't care because I want to win. Right. I don't care if Amari Cooper catches the ball. He's having the best time of his life, he says. Best time of his life equates to, hey, we got synergy out there. It's something deeper.
Right. Locked Rain says, I see it this way. Defenses aren't going to know where to go with us. Josh has too many options now.
Yep.
That was definitely not the case when it came to the 2021 Bills. Mm-hmm. You knew you had the double cover bracket, take away Steph Diggs, and force everybody else to beat you.
And you knew they didn't have a run game.
Right, exactly. I was going to say that.
I'm sorry.
No.
You know how I jump on that.
We had already gotten so far past that point, but I had already forgotten to bring that up. So I'm glad you said it, because that is another great point to this. This is also the most complete offense the Bills have had, like,
under McDermott.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The entire time. So, and yes, Trey says Khalil Shakir is more consistent than Davis ever was. 100%. 100%. Okay. I am not saying this. I'm reading someone else's comment. Vu says we are spreading them out. That 4x1 set with
yo, bro.
We didn't say
I didn't say it. Vu said it. Oh, yeah. As soon as I read it, I'm like, my man Vu. Oh, he said we.
I was we're running 4x. I was gonna paraphrase. We're running 4x1s.
I gotta be honest, bro. It's all true, no sodium tape. I gotta be honest. I'm sorry. Cato says, what? Let's keep telling it. Let's keep it. What?
Let's keep it. Leave it. Let's keep telling.
Let's keep it a buck till
Davis was good, and they have Mac Hollins.
What
he's doing.
Yeah. Basically saying Davis is Mac Hollins.
Yeah.
But Hollins is better.
Way better.
He's a better route runner. He understands the nuances of playing receiver that Gabe Davis didn't get when he was here, and namely in terms of option routes and knowing his quarterback and where he wants to go. Like, all of that really comes down to how you study the playbook, how excuse me, how well you understand what you're seeing on the field. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's probably a big reason why Gabe Davis doesn't run a lot of routes. He's not asked to do it because he doesn't read what he's seeing good enough to be able to run all the routes and react to a play on the fly.
That's agreed.
Let's see. Yeah, Davis said 2 was a waste of time. FH, yeah, we got you live. I saw your comment earlier. He says Key just wants to keep saying Ariel Grande. Makes me chuckle when Tubers say it. Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's one of the better names I've seen on here. Locked Rain. Oh, Locked Rain is talking to Lindsay. I'll let them communicate.
You don't leave it alone.
yeah. I'll let them get do what they do. Okay, so in terms of, we just about covered everything. Yeah, we covered everything from not getting too overconfident, hoping that Sean sees that he needs to play this way. Bubba Dub mentioned us again.
What happened? Did he?
Yeah, he mentioned us in his live. I got to figure out how to get a hold of this.
You got to.
I've been trying to contact him, and I don't know how to do it.
You got to sub to him.
Yeah. Well, I did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that's why
you got to catch it. Yeah, you got to catch his live. I didn't sub to him. You got to catch his live. So I'm like,
I got to catch it like right when it starts.
I'll be at work, so I don't even. Yeah.
I don't even know when he goes on.
I know. Had to set your notification, hit that little bell, make it go ring a ling a ling.
Exactly. Like I be telling people, it's crazy.
But don't use that if you're listening.
No. So Cato, there is. Okay, so let's recap. So defensively.
Yeah, let's go there.
Because Cato's saying, but why no concern about this defense? I think we address that by saying the team needs to identify as an offensive team going forward. You know what I mean? And for Sean to say this is how we need to win games, that's a big step in the right direction. Mm-hmm. Like for him to openly say this is how we need to win games. Listen, you go 2 weeks in a row seeing your defense get torn to shreds by good offenses. Mm-hmm. That should shake something out of you. You know what I'm saying? And it seems to have done that. So, are we going to see that the last 3 weeks of the season? Probably not. I don't think Sean respects these last 3 teams enough to do that. Yeah. I think our regular effort is enough to beat these teams, and that's fine. But once playoff time comes, even if we have the number 1 seed, and you come out at home against whoever you face, you run the same type of game plan. You run the same type of offense. You run the same type of defense. Yeah. You do whatever is necessary, clawing, scratching, kicking, fighting, punching, biting, whatever, to get that dub. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Enough of this trying to win the honorable way. It don't work. It don't work. Right? And the fact that this team played base at all shows me they're ready to do what it takes.
You know what I heard?
What?
I heard Jameis Winston threw some dubs our way because he wasn't going to need no more this year. He wasn't going to have no more dubs to eat this year.
Well,
so he said, you know what?
He also threw his starting position over this way too.
That's what I'm saying. Go ahead. Whatever.
Yeah.
Send him to Buffalo.
No.
Not Jameis, the dubs. He eating them W's. He ain't got to eat no more W's.
We don't need his W's. We got our own. Why we need his?
Buffalo.
No, we don't.
We do need.
We beat the Lions without his famous speech.
We
beat the Lions without his famous speech.
I know, but I would rather have his famous speech than McDermott's speech. Clap it up, guys. Bring it in. All right, guys.
Okay. Can we pay Jameis Winston
to be a motivational speaker
to just do the post game speeches?
Absolutely.
I would pay him top dollar to just come in and do the post game speeches.
Pre-game too?
What?
Pre-game too?
No.
Why not?
No.
Who does it now?
No. No.
It
worked for the Lions. Jameis Winston not being there worked for the Lions.
But he was in spirit.
No, he was not. Where? Where is he in spirit? You didn't go to the game. You the only one carrying his spirit around.
I know.
Okay.
It was a mighty spirit. It was too.
Well, the Chiefs tore that spirit out of him.
They did,
and they tore his job from him.
they did. So yeah, talking about the defense. Well, let's start off with the fact that they called out the defensive line. I mean, they tore the defensive line loose. They tore them in half in the media.
McDermott said, let's collect the speech offering right now.
You know what? Let's do it. I'm sure we can copy and paste some of them. Just play over the loudspeaker. We can zoom them right in. But I heard McDermott and company tore them in half. That D line, and it was obvious. Look at that, Oliver. 10 pressures. 10. He had 8 tackles all season. 1 sack. He comes to this game. He runs over Frank Ragnow. I mean, he made him look stupid.
Yeah.
He made him look like an idiot. Yeah, but you know what it lends to, too? They twist it. They stun it. Where have those been? When you have a small, fast defensive line, guess what you need to do? Maybe some misdirections.
Exactly. Maybe a few stunts here and there.
Something. Just throw a dog a bone.
Right.
Anything. Russo, I think Russo had 9 pressures or whatever it was. But the point is, this was a coming out party for the defensive line. I'm looking at the numbers here. No. Okay, so they have Ed Oliver at 9 pressures, Russo 9 pressures, Von Miller 3 pressures, Epinesa 3 pressures, and Daquan Jones 6 pressures. So, I mean, that tells you right there. Even though Daquan Jones didn't have a great game, he was better, much better. But that comes from the stunts and twists. That comes from what we forced Detroit to do. What I've always said was you got to force them not to run. Yeah. Whoever you're playing.
Yeah.
You know you're not good against the run. They were on Sunday. But what you got?
I'm conflicted, bro.
What?
I'm conflicted. If I choose to destroy the integrity of this stat, I can never use it for my advantage.
What's that?
The idea of pressures. Like there's something in me that feels disgusted when I hear it.
Okay.
Like okay, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
What are we defining as pressures? Like when these stats are recorded, how are they identifying pressures?
Hold on.
Does it say?
I think they do have to. No, they don't. Not here. I can look it up because there is a technical term for it.
Oh no, that's pass rush. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll look up the definition of pressure. It might be on the other site I use. Hold on 1 second. Well, just make your point. I'll try to figure it out. So
the idea behind pressures is you get close, but you don't actually get there. And I said this in the last podcast. I don't really want to rehash the totality of the point, but basically the idea of crediting a player and saying that they did well because of the pressure they put on the quarterback. I mean, frankly, the Lions had 42 points. Like, how much did pressure really affect what Jared Goff was doing?
I mean, I don't agree with this point, so I'll preface it by saying that, but all of his stuff happened in garbage time. I don't agree with that. So you ain't got to argue. I got no pushback, but that's what they're saying.
Okay. Okay, then let me ask you this. Did all of Josh's yards and points and all that kind of stuff happen in garbage time against the Rams?
I plead the fifth on that one. Only because
how much did pressure affect Josh?
Well, only because I do agree that most of this stuff against the Rams, but like I said, my own personal opinion, we lost the game in the second quarter. So in that game, that's how I look at it. You know, they were just scratching and surviving against a bad defense. So, no, I hear what you're saying. But I think the reason why I put stock in it for this team is because we had none before. You know, we didn't do any. Like, pressure is a standard stat. You should have pressure if you're making $16 million as a defensive lineman. That's your only job. Yeah. If you look at blitz rates, pretty much any time a defensive lineman gets off the line, it's called a blitz.
Right.
So I don't really care about, you know, anything else you do besides getting to the quarterback in some way, shape, or form.
Right. That's the key. That's the key to me, and I think you're absolutely right when you say that. When I think of pressures are only relevant if you get there at least once. That's why I was saying in the last episode, you have to make contact with the quarterback. You gotta touch him. Like, defensive coaches, defensive line coaches, they say this all the time. If you touch a quarterback, it affects them mentally. If quarterbacks do not want to be touched. Any quarterback can say, I don't want to be touched. Okay, you say.
Okay.
So. Well, just a hand on the arm. Just they don't want their body being touched at all.
If you ask Taron Johnson, that means something completely different.
I don't know what that means.
You don't know?
You can hit the button on him if you want.
No, you don't know?
No.
In his post-game locker rooms interview, whatever, he said at the bottom of that the onside kick pile. Oh, he said some people put hands where they weren't supposed to be.
Yo, they do that all the time.
I know they do. I mean, that's normal.
I don't know if I could work in a workplace like that.
Nah, that'd be tough.
Like, I'm at the bottom of this scrum,
and they just
I'm trying to hold on to this ball, and you squeezing my nuts, bro.
They're giving you whatever.
Why is that pause?
They're giving you whatever.
Hey,
you get a half a ayo.
Yo, I was like, why that sound different?
I cut it off early.
Yeah, that was good. That's real good.
I like that. I couldn't work in a place like that. I couldn't work it like now. Mind you, we get taught to wear cups in Little League. Mm-hmm. Like that might have helped him out if that was the case. Like you could try all you want. I got protection in the way. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So. I don't know.
That's real rough. I mean,
Yo, Timonius Lake said, LMAO, at this point, the producer is just the police.
That's what he does.
That's right.
He screws with us all.
The podcast police.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
We were playing the game. I'm like, yo, he was like, hey, yo, I'm like, what? I'm focused on throwing my high. What's going on here?
Yeah. Laura, listen. I get it. She says I don't know about that pressure without touching can still affect their game plan, how much to run versus pass, etc. To support your point, I will say, in the first quarter and a half, they got a total of 1 sack. I think they got 1. In the first two quarters, I know for sure they got 1 sack. Mm-hmm. Everything else other than that was pressure that forced Jared Goff to have to move and shift. Now, here's the other part of that. Jared Goff is not a mobile quarterback. When you get him off of his spot, that creates additional issues for a quarterback like that. So pressure affects certain types of quarterbacks more so than others. I think where I'm trying to go is, how much does pressure affect Lamar Jackson? How much does pressure affect Jalen Hurts? How much does it affect Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen? That's why I kind of took it back to the Rams game, because you look at Josh Allen in both of these games. Both of these teams at one point or another had a shot at Josh, and he got away. So how much did the pressure they put on Josh really matter when he could just get out of it? You know what I'm saying? So that's where I lessen the impact of pressure for those types of quarterbacks.
I was going to say for a certain kind of quarterback.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And I'm even willing to just leave it at that point, because Jared Goff was a prime example of the type of quarterback that pressure affects more so than, the mobile guys and the guys that can, create on their own.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think, who was it? Oh, God, I missed it. Leak. He said Lions got a lot of empty calories. Goff has 16 pass attempts. That's 2 games worth of pass attempts. Also, Josh only threw 37 pass attempts versus the Rams. Okay, let me ask you this. I'm gonna fire this back at you. The way the scheme went for the Rams game, had Josh not gone for 55%, do you think he would have only thrown 37 times? The reason why I say that is because we had no time of possession.
Yeah.
Therefore, everything Josh did was a pass. If we had more plays to run, there would have been more passes.
Yep.
And we would have completed maybe 30 passes or something like that. Maybe we would have got hot. But the thing is, the way that they ran it, every incomplete pass gives the advantage to the other team when you're running against a team that's killing the clock.
Right.
So it's a double-edged sword here. I mean, yeah, you're right. It was 2 games worth of passing, but Josh threw 37 times in the game where he couldn't have thrown 37 times. Right. You had to keep the ball out of their hands. You kept giving them the ball back. That's why they scored 44 points.
Yep. If
you would have ran a control game, not saying you would have won, but it wouldn't have been that helter-skelter.
Yep.
It wouldn't have been a 44-42 game. So it's a lot of give and take there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, considering how much time of possession the Rams had, the fact that we scored 42 points is crazy.
Yeah.
Because when I watched the condensed version of this game back, it was an hour long, bro. It was like 55 minutes.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Usually it's, half hour?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 35, 40 minutes, like tops.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But this is 55 minutes, and that's because there was so much scoring.
Mm-hmm.
That it was so much. There was so many stoppages of the clock due to some kind of score. You know what I'm saying? So, in the sense of Josh's impact, you look at that that Rams game and you say, "Damn, how did he do it?"
Right.
You know what I mean? So, I think. Nathan says MVP 17 has learned to live with pressure. Goes back to his college days. Yeah. That I think that is one of the things that makes him as good as he is he's played with nothing around him and he's been under pressure the whole time. He's finally taken what was supposed to be an advantage at the beginning, and somehow slipped into being a detriment. And as far as his outlook on the way that he has to play because of the pressure that he's used to, he had to get out of the PTSD of dealing with that and into the muscle memory of how to learn from and use that experience to his advantage. And I think he's done that now this season. To some degree, we do have to give Brady credit for that because
absolutely. Yeah.
When it comes to Josh's mechanics, footwork, I mean, we're seeing Josh make passes that he hasn't made for the last 3 years. I'm even, going back to I'll even take it back to 2020, I think, being the last year where I saw him make some really, really great, accurate, some anticipatory throws. You know what I'm saying? There were some off-speed pitches he had. There were some zingers. I heard a stat. The 50-yard pass to Coleman was the 60-yard pass, was the fastest 50-plus yard pass ever thrown in NFL history.
And are you surprised?
Not at all. Not at all. Like, that to me is incredible when you see that kind of a pass occur, and then you see the beautiful touch pass to Dawson Knox. Mm-hmm. Beautiful catch, but to give him time to run under that right to a wide open spot where nobody else could get to it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I'll go one better, and this is going to sound stupid, but think about it like this. Remember Heatgate, that touchdown to Ray Davis. He wasn't making that pass a couple years ago. Yeah, that was not happening. That's why all the fades and stuff were not in Josh's repertoire. Those back shoulder throws weren't in his repertoire. Now I'm willing to try it. Yeah, and that's something that we saw. I think I said that last year before the season. I want to see him be able to vary up his throwing speeds. He's got to have touch. He's got to lob some. He's got to put some on a rope, and that's what he's doing now. But that's what you get when you mature. When somebody actually gets in there and learns from mistakes or learns from misses, because you can do it. And I think I go into the 60% of his yards yak, but he creates some of that by putting the ball in the right place now.
Yeah.
And that's huge. You got to put the ball in the right place. Brady is making it really easy. These route combinations are crazy.
Yeah.
These guys are always open for some reason.
Right.
And what I really, really like about Brady, and I'll say this before he's gone, is what Josh said in the press conference. We run scramble drills every day. Wow. Because guess what? Beginning of the season, I said a million times, Keon's open all day long over the middle when the play breaks down. Now you see him coming back to that. You see him coming back to they're turning the middle of the field up.
Yeah.
Because now they're doing a scramble. Now that Ty Johnson catch, what do you get taken down to 6, taken down to 7, whatever it was. It was a scramble drill. Ty Johnson made a move because he saw Josh leave. They weren't standing there stuck on stupid. And Josh knew where to look. He knew where the hole in the defense was, and he threw it there.
Yep.
So that's the turning. That's the change of the guards that we're seeing today. Is the growth in what we have. It's not a Amari Cooper per se. It just was the perfect storm. When he came, and Josh even said before the Rams game, and I forgot about this, so I shouldn't have went off the handle last week when they lost. He said, now that we clinched the playoffs, we can try some things out and play a little looser. He said that in his press conference after what game was it? After the San Francisco game. Yeah. Or in the week leading up. Mm-hmm. He said we can play a little looser and try some stuff out. They tried. It just didn't work. We tried not to run at all. They're trying to get the trophy for no runs in the game, I guess. And it failed miserably. So they won't do that again.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so I did want to say this too. What was I reacting to? There was a point in here. You know what? Let me get to this real quick because Steve mentioned it earlier. So about 10 after 7, Steve said, Sabres down 1-0 in the first 30 seconds. So much for Pagula's speech.
It was a rousing speech.
Right? And then he says, 3-0 Canadians. Is this team trying to tell
Seriously?
Pagula we need help?
I'm glad I didn't tape that.
Yeah.
I almost pushed the button.
Yeah.
I was debating. Let's see. Who said it? What am I trying to react to? Oh, Kevin K. KK. My bad. I got to get used to this myself. Come on, Goff's a damn good quarterback. He's done well.
Yeah,
he's done well. I'm not taking nothing from Goff. But the thing is, he's the kind of what we're saying is he's the kind of quarterback you can pressure because he doesn't have that Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, even I guess Herbert. Even if you want escapability, some guys can get out of there and Goff can't. That's just it is what it is.
Yeah. There was something I wanted to bring up. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. It was surrounded around.
Oh, 2-0. They disallowed the goal. It was mercy ruled.
Mercy rule. Man, it was something people would not want to hear too.
Well, that's
which made it good. It made it something I needed to say.
God took it from you. We were being too positive.
What were you talking about before we got on to the comments?
Got on who?
You were talking about.
I was talking about the scramble drills. I was talking about the Ray Davis catch. I mentioned
Ray Davis catch.
The touch on the pass. The touchdown.
Okay. Dang. Did you see the route that Cook ran?
Yes.
It was first quarter, and he was already on the sideline, and he ran inside. Yep. I wanted to mention that as support.
That's scramble drill. See, that's maturation of an offense, and for that reason, Brady's probably out of here. I mean, honestly, I think he's going to go to the Giants. Could you imagine that? He's going to have the number 1, number 2 overall. I know Dayball, bad taste. He's going to have the number 1, number 2 overall draft pick. So you can go Cam Ward or Shador. You have Malik Neighbors already. You're going to have some kind of money. They got a young squad. I could see him being creative over there.
How you going to I mean, I could see it like if Joe Shane is still the GM, but
Joe Shane's still the GM. He's going to ask his kids who they want, right. Like he did last time.
Right. Yeah, I need to decide. Yeah, I do have one. It's just we've covered everything that I wanted to make sure we got to, and there was something else that came to my mind that I wanted to cover, and I be trying to be nice by letting Keyshawn talk and say what he's got to say. Maybe I just got to cut you off.
I overstepped my bounds a little bit too much.
No, I'm just kidding. All right. So Kev says, don't underestimate your enemies. Detroit, Green Bay, Vikings, you better prepare to beat them. That's why I say Bills coaching isn't terrible. Maybe not the best, but they beat the Chiefs and the Lions. How do you feel about that?
I'll put it like this. If there is a coaching staff that I trust to get the guys up to play, it is this coaching staff. And what I mean by that is a coaching staff that's focused, that's very what's the phrase? That's detail oriented.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have the Rex Ryan razzle dazzle sideshow. You don't have, the coach that's telling you that, talking to you all clinched up. You have a coach that does get a little too culture driven. You got a coach that does get a little too philosophical.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I think you got a coach that's not going to let the overall scheme, I'll say, because this coach has proven that he clams up until otherwise seen by McDermott.
Mm-hmm.
He has clammed up in big moments, and we're going to continue to see that until we see otherwise. So I think the pregame lead up, I think Josh Allen now, and it looks like the synergy that we have with the coaching and the impact players is going to play a huge role in us going into the playoffs and making some kind of noise. Now, I'm not going to look past the AFC. Because we don't know. I don't know. Honestly, we saw the Steelers just lose. We don't know if the Ravens are even going to make it. They probably will. But we just don't know if the Chiefs are going to decide they're going to pull out everything they never pulled before. Mahomes is going to have, if he's going to be a bionic man. So I'll take that point a little further and say I'm not even going to the NFC. I'm not looking. You didn't mention Philly. You didn't mention, so
yeah,
one game at a time.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was talking to Steve earlier, and he sent me a bunch of stuff that I really haven't had a chance to get through. I apologize, Steve, but one of the things he mentioned was Philly is probably at the top of that list in terms of teams that you want to make sure you're ready for. And when you think of what is probably the most complete team from top to bottom in the league, not named the Buffalo Bills, is probably the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, their run game is just as good as what their pass game can be when it's hitting.
I mean, they got that little guy. What's his name? The little dude. The little guy.
Saquon Barkley?
Is that it? Yes, they got Saquon. I mean, anytime you talk about a run game in Philly, it's got to be Saquon Barkley, and he's staying healthy. So major props.
Yeah. So in terms of who the Bills are most likely going to see, if the playoffs started right now, we see the Chargers. You worried about the Chargers?
I shouldn't be.
You shouldn't be?
I shouldn't be, but we almost lost to Eastern State last year. I shouldn't be.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. But that was for sure a Sean game.
Yeah, and what's the guy's name? The Johnson. That wide receiver that has like bricks for hands, he's catching some
Quentin
things.
Johnston?
Yeah. What's his name? I got to look
out
it
of
up
TCU,
now.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Quentin Johnston.
Quentin Johnson and Lab McConkey is over there doing things.
Yeah,
so
McConkey getting busy.
Yeah. So I mean, on the surface, no, I'm not going to cower for them like I did for the Lions. I'll admit it. Yeah, I was worried. But when it comes to the Chargers, AFC team, we run the AFC. I'm okay with it.
Okay. So going forward into these next 3 weeks now, what should be the focus of the team aside from trying to get the number one seed in your mind?
Okay, so this is my answer to disqualify the last statement you made. If we win next week and if we win next week and the Steelers lose, we get the number 2. Who is it? If we win next week, it's like 2 teams that lose. We lock up the number 2.
No,
I believe.
if we win this week and the Steelers lose
this week, yeah,
we lock up the number 1, the number 2 seed.
Right. So if that happens and we lock up the number 2, I would really think about reevaluate who's healthy, who's not. Because I want to go into with optimal health if possible.
Okay.
Number 2 is good enough, especially if KC wins, because Mahomes is healthy now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That number one is that's hard to do because they got to lose 2 out of the next 3 or something. Is that what it is?
The Chiefs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got to lose 2 out of the next 3. We got to win out. Which the win out part isn't too hard, but the losing.
Well,
what you got?
They play the Texans on Saturday.
Oh, they got it in like Wednesday, don't they?
Yes. They play the Texans on Saturday, then they play the Steelers on Wednesday.
Will the refs be hydrated?
I don't even think that matters. I just like the Steelers secondary is not elite, but the defense as a whole is they're great this year. Right, they're the reason that team is winning games. Even though Russell Wilson has kind of stabilized that offense a little bit, that defense is the reason they're winning games this season. And it's been that way for years. We know that. That's who the Steelers are. Mm-hmm. But when you think about what that defense can do in terms of pass rush and what they can do in terms of attacking an offensive line and making a quarterback uncomfortable, Mahomes with a shot up ankle is probably in much bigger trouble than he would ever be in any other circumstance, right? And the game is in Pittsburgh. So this is not one of those, welcome to Arrowhead, rituals, the ritual sacrifices of a team for the sake of primetime TV with the Chiefs on it. You know what I'm saying? This is a real matchup for a team that frankly plays more physical than the Chiefs do, much better defense than what the Chiefs have, and they got a smart, savvy quarterback and an offensive coordinator that seems to know what he's doing this season. You know what I'm saying? So that, to me, is the game I think they for sure lose, but this Texans game has the potential to be just as dangerous for them, specifically because the Texans are the best team in the league in terms of quarterback pressures and pass rush. They are tops in the league. So when you have that going against that hideous left tackle that they have, you know what I'm saying? It's not like you can double team that guy because they have bookends. You know what I'm saying? So if you're on that offensive line, now you got to think, okay, we got to get this ball out in 1.5 seconds. Right. Forget 2. You know what I'm saying? You'd have to do but just like the Bills tried to do a lot of bubble screens and stuff like that. Like the Chiefs are gonna have to be very creative in that sense, and they're gonna have to try to run the ball. And teams don't have a ton of success running the ball on the Texans either. So it's really a game designed to be very dangerous for the Chiefs. If they can figure those out, great. I honestly don't think that they will win all 3 games. I could be wrong, but when you cap all of that off by a trip to – no. Yeah, they have to go to Denver. So you got 2 away games. Wait, is it 3 away games?
Who's that?
Kansas Chiefs. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, no, it's the Texans are going to Arrowhead, and then they go to at Pittsburgh, and then at Denver.
Yep.
So I strongly believe 2 of those games they're going to lose.
You think they're going to go 1 and 2 in the last 3?
Well, think about it like this: C.J. Stroud is top 5 in terms of quarterbacks that the Chiefs will have seen this season. Right? How many good quarterbacks have the Chiefs seen? You got their schedule still up?
Yeah, they got Lamar.
They played Lamar.
Joe Burrow.
Okay.
Kirk Cousins. Not Kirk Cousins, but yeah.
He was still coming back from injury.
Oh, no, I'm just going through the whole deal.
No, I'm just calling out how good the quarterbacks are.
Herbert.
They were still running the ball a ton in that game.
Who was the quarterback there?
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr, okay.
For the Saints. Yeah, he's all right. He's not that great.
No real beater. Who was the quarterback?
49ers,
here?
Brock Purdy.
Was he playing? I don't even know when he got hurt.
No, I don't think
he did play. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Brock Purdy.
But they've been a down team, the Raiders.
Yep, and this was later. Raiders played with
Aiden O'Connell?
Gardner
Minshew, wow.
Mm-hmm. Tampa Bay, Baker. Denver.
And that was a close game. That's probably the best quarterback play they've faced all season till now. But I mean, aside from Josh, you know what I mean.
Yeah. You got Denver. Those Bo Nix.
Yep.
Josh. Yeah, okay.
They barely beat the Panthers.
Yeah, they barely beat the Panthers. The Raiders, again, Chargers, and Browns.
Right. So C.J. Stroud would be the third best quarterback. Yeah, I'm willing to say it. This season, I think C.J. Stroud would be the third best quarterback that the Chiefs have faced all season. And then they would go on to face Russell Wilson, who, I mean, he's probably 6th or 7th. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah.
Sorry.
And I'm sorry, I didn't include Lamar Jackson and
what? I had him in the top 3. There you go. I did
who,
it for
C.J.
you.
Stroud?
Nah, you said he's a. I forgot how you worded it, but you said he's a
Lamar Jackson. Well, no, Joe Burrow has to be because Lamar. Joe Burrow has better numbers.
Well, not in that game.
Huh?
Not in that game.
No, not in that. But I just mean overall. Right?
Yeah.
I'm ranking the quarterbacks.
Yeah, it took him a while to cook
that the Chiefs have played. So Joe Burrow, then Josh Allen, then Lamar Jackson, then who's got better numbers, C.J. Stroud or Baker? We got to find that out.
Gotta look it up.
You look up Stroud, I'll look up Baker.
Well, I'll do this. I can do this. I can rank the quarterbacks. Give me a second here. I can get the quarterback.
Okay. Look at that. Stat man working the stats.
Yeah, I can do that.
Kev says KC will lose some bodies in that 3-game stretch. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. Laura said, "Who's on camera? Because they're giving me vertigo." You switching back and forth quick, man.
We talking too much.
Making people dizzy.
We talking too much.
Yeah.
He said, "Who's working the camera? Who's the cameraman?" No. Hey man,
I get it.
We making it liver than what it was.
That's true. That's true. It makes it. He doing it on purpose now. Look at him. Hey, he messing with you, Laura. That's what he doing.
Point. So you said so total yardage: Joe Burrow, Baker, Lamar, then Josh. So that's the order of yardage.
Burrow, Baker, Lamar,
then
Josh, then Stroud. Then Bo Nix. Where's Russell?
Russell's way down here. Russell is 29th. But you gotta remember, he only played 8 games.
Yeah, that's true too.
Touchdown percent. We'll do touchdown percentage because that's a better indicator.
Okay.
Jameis Winston's way up there.
Oh God.
I wasn't even trying to make a point.
Stop.
Kirk Cousins is up there. So who are we? Wow. Okay, so league average, all these guys are lower than league average. Patrick Mahomes is down there. C.J. Stroud is down there. Okay, we weren't because Josh.
How
is
is Gardner Minshew and Drake May have a better touchdown percentage?
Oh, no.
That's interception percentage. I'm like, what the heck?
I'm like, this makes no sense.
Yeah.
Lamar's number 1 in the league in touchdown percentage. Baker Mayfield's number 2. Joe Burrow is 3. And then Josh is 7. So that's an indicator right there.
And Russell's right behind him at 8.
Russell's right there at 8.
Okay. This makes a lot more sense.
C.J. Stroud is 26th.
And wow. Well, he's had to deal with injuries at receiver, so that makes sense too. Bo Nix is 17. That's actually pretty damn good.
Really good.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean these will be the best quarterbacks left, but I mean they're also pretty good quarterbacks, man. I mean for anybody to think just right off the bat the Chiefs are gonna scrape all 3 of these teams, like, no, come on. I mean matchups matter.
Yeah.
You know, and what can you go back to the games for the Chiefs? I want to see what the scores were when they faced good quarterbacks, because that says a lot. They lost to the Bills, right? Good quarterback play with that. That's good quarterback play always. Well, not always, but good quarterback play usually beats good defense.
All right.
No,
I got you.
Okay,
so
they beat Baltimore by a touchdown.
By a toe.
They beat the Bengals by 1 point. Right? Then they beat beat Bo Nix by 2 points, basically a blocked field goal.
Yep.
They beat Baker Mayfield by 6 points.
Overtime.
In overtime, right? It took overtime because Baker came back on them.
Lost to us by 9.
And they lost to us by 9. So,
yep.
I don't know. I think Kev is absolutely right. I think they're going to lose somebody. It's going to hurt them in the playoffs, and that's going to be the reason they lose. It sucks for the Chiefs to have that kind of excuse, but Bills fans will be able to tear that to shreds.
I don't even care. Give me the Super Bowl.
Exactly. Right.
Give me the Super Bowl. So, question for you. I got to get this off my chest because this text came through. It was very troubling for me. I actually nominated for the DJ award.
Who? Oh.
Yeah, actually nominated.
Bring it up here?
People might be eating. I don't know.
People might be eating. Man, give me the Dookie Juice Award.
People might be eating.
I don't care if they would. Listen. If you eating, close your eyes.
Yeah.
All right. You got a nominee for the Dookie Juice Award. Bam. There it is right there. Dookie Juice.
So, chat. Answer truthfully and honestly. Take your glasses off. Your Kool-Aid glasses. Just for this.
Okay.
Is Josh Allen the best quarterback of all time?
What?
This was a text I got. Josh Allen is the best quarterback all time.
Why would he ask that right now?
I don't know. He said you can't talk about the trophies. You can't talk about stats. I said, so based on what then?
Right, what you basing it on?
What is it? So I'm like, okay.
So is it just recency bias I have to base that off of?
I don't know.
I think he just wants you to say somehow Josh Allen is the best quarterback in NFL history.
No, he rubbed in my face that I thought that the Bills are going to lose on Sunday. So now he thinks he can ask me anything he wants, and I'm going to answer it in the affirmative. That's not going to happen.
No
I can't do it.
No.
I wouldn't be me if I did. Chat, if you believe it, I'm not going to jump on you. He needs help. Also, this is another thing I had.
This I agree with. I'll put this up there. My man Mark says Josh Allen is the most physically talented QB of all time. That I wholeheartedly believe. I have not seen a quarterback with that combination of size, speed, and arm strength at all. Ben Roethlisberger didn't have it. Michael Vick didn't have it. Michael Vick was only 6 feet tall.
Ben may have had it in his arsenal because I know he played wide receiver. So he might have been fast.
Yeah, but he didn't look like this.
He didn't use it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So I think the best way to put it would be the most physically gifted to actually utilize his gifts. I think that's to actually utilize. Because there's been guys that
like Dante Culpepper was
they have
it. Did I just say
Dante
Culpepper?
You might have
Dante Culpepper.
Yo, he like I can't. I'm not even going. He said I'm not even going to say anything.
I got to pass for that one. Okay, all right.
I think he's so disgusted with you right now. He ain't going to say nothing.
It's like that holding penalty that the ref should have called in the first quarter of the Lions game, but he didn't. So, I'll take it. I can go with that. I can agree that he's an anomaly. He's an anomaly. I'll say that. Yeah.
But yeah, this is also something that I saw. I was watching YouTube too late last night, and this guy is doing a reaction video to the best quarterbacks of every team. Mm-hmm. And so Baltimore comes, they show Lamar Jackson. Okay, we get it. They had nobody before him, really. So by default, he said, hands down, the best black quarterback ever. Right? I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't really do lists, so I'm like, whatever you please. And I'm like, if you put him over McNabb, I'm cool. Yeah. Then somebody in this chat said, what about Mahomes? He was like, that motherfucker's black? I forgot about him. He said, wait, he's not black, is he? He had to Google this.
That's great. That is so good. Yo, that motherfucker is black?
Like, oh, man. Like, okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, my friend just texted me, Mac Hollins is better than Gabe Davis. Have y'all watched their film? I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Extensively.
Lots of it. Yep.
Extensively.
Exactly.
I mean, I've never seen Mac Hollins try to piece up Josh Allen because he's not throwing the ball the right way. Followed by a fumble immediately on the next play after trying to piece up said quarterback. Yep. Never seen it. So yeah, I'm gonna go with yes. So Chad, if I'm off base on any of that stuff there, you let me know. I'm sure my friend would love it. But if you don't say anything, we're just going to assume that he's just trying to rile me up.
Right. So Kev K says, so what does that mean? Josh Allen is the major player and leader of the offense, and we need him healthy.
Which Kev is this Kaiser or is this Harge?
Kaiser.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I said Kev K.
Oh, my phone's over here. I'm
okay.
I'm out of here, bro.
All right. So Nate says Mike Vick was pretty damn physically gifted. Yeah. But again, that's why I say size speed, arm strength. I mean, we got to include Josh's the way he processes the game too, because that's just as much of a weapon as any of these dudes. It's literally taking Peyton Manning's brain or Tom Brady's brain and putting it into Dante Culpepper or Ben Roethlisberger's body.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like that is Josh Allen. He's got the elite mind with the elite physical traits. We've not seen a quarterback utilize both of those things at the same time. And this dude is doing it game in and game out. I don't know if people are going to be able to give this man enough credit for what he does on a football field and how easy he makes it look.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to look that easy.
Yeah. I think I give him credit for that. I also want to give credit to an offense that allows him to be himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've seen what he does under Dorsey, which is horrible, which is who they had, Deshaun Watson and Jameis Winston have over in Cleveland now. And was it Dorian Thompson, whatever. He gets 2 names. He doesn't have 3.
DTR.
Yeah, he gets no 3 games.
Okay,
3 names for me.
okay.
He's got to have an MVP or something to get 3 names.
Just call him Dorian.
My life is crazy. Yeah, so you can pick 2 of your choosing. I'm going to call you that. But yeah, so I mean, I think the license, and you look at let's go back as far as we're not going to do this. I'm going to say let's for instance say Josh Allen with Doug Marrone. This would not have happened. Because after Josh Allen threw his first 2 interceptions or whatever,
Marrone would have sat him down.
He would have took him out.
Yeah.
And for as conservative, as tight, and we want to call Sean McDermott, Josh ain't never been pulled out. He's had some stinkers.
Yeah.
9 for 30, he's hitting, work it out. Back in the day when he was learning, he didn't have any weapons. He had some bad games. Yeah. And he said, work it out.
You know what's unfortunate?
What's that?
I thought about Josh Allen with Chan Gailey. Right. And I was like, but then I thought, that defense wouldn't have been nearly as good as what we have now.
He didn't care about defense.
Right.
We got defense? Wait a minute. Who plays on that side? Who we paying? Oh, Lord.
Coach, why do you keep telling the GM we need 3-4 players? We play a 4-3. What the hell is a 4-3?
Oh, God.
What is a base? I don't know what that is. Get out of my face.
Run base. Base what?
I got
base?
12 formation to build.
You figure it out. I don't want to see it.
All right, so, fellas, we were talking about the bunch.
So, David Nelson, what do you want to do? Okay. Well, yeah, so I mean, I think a lot of it goes into the coach, because also my friend, and this one I think he believes in. I'll give him credit even though I don't want to. He said, "Could you imagine Bill Belichick with Josh Allen?" I don't think Josh Allen, even though Bill says Josh is the kind of quarterback that he likes, I don't know that Bill really likes that kind of quarterback. I don't know that he really would like him. I mean, he likes watching him, but would he like to deal with what Josh comes with, as opposed to, he has a lot of big plays, but he has some plays outside of this season that you're like, hell.
The offense that the Patriots had with Randy Moss, there's a reason Bill didn't build offenses like that after Randy Moss left.
Yeah.
Bill understood if you have offenses like that and you have receivers like that, them dudes gonna want to get paid like that.
Yeah.
We ain't about that life.
Paying.
You know what I'm saying? So we'll build this West Coast over here, and we'll keep it at that, because that keeps everything manageable in terms of stats and money and all that kind of stuff, and we'll win that way. And it was smart for many years with Tom Brady running the show. It was smart. It worked. It allowed him to save money and build, very strong defenses and shut guys down. I'm still waiting to see that style of defense again in the league, where you go into a game as an offense and your top 2 best options just don't work at all. Mm-hmm. I've not seen anything like that still to this day since that point. You know what I mean? You either guys don't know how to do it the way Bill does it, or Bill has some sort of cheat code, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. But
Cheat code, hint, hint. Get it?
I try to be subtle. But yeah, I haven't seen anything like that, in today's NFL. I don't even know if it's possible to do that anymore. Mm-hmm. It might not be, but I'd be interested to see somebody attempt it.
Yeah.
My man Steve Noble says, I was in Northern PA cooking this weekend and definitely had a Dante Coldpecker. He said, my blood has gotten thin living in the South now. Yeah, I imagine so, man. I imagine so. I was talking with my pop about CJ Stroud going to Kansas City, and I'm like, he played at Ohio State, and he was like, yeah, but once you get in the South for a little period of time and you playing in arenas and you playing and it's hot outside and all that, like it's gonna be tough for him playing in the cold. So
yeah, I got a flight attendant friend who told me she was working today. She said she moved to Dallas,
okay,
but then she came back up recently, and you know her, and
the one I met at,
yeah,
okay,
yep.
yeah.
And so she's like, it's cold on the plane. I got a jacket on. I'm like, why? You're from Buffalo. I was like, wait a minute, you did move to Dallas. You know the heat.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that. But take the jacket off. Get assimilated, because when you come back home again, it ain't going to be what it was when you left. It's going to be frosty.
There was wait. Where was I? Oh, okay. Sweat says, what make Allen do special because he does more with less talent. Excuse me, more with less talent and poor coaching. Yeah. That, you know what? If Sean does end up being here for the entirety of Josh's career, should that? Okay, I'll give you a scenario. Let's say Josh wins the Super Bowl this year, and in going into the rest of Josh's career, we win 2 more. Josh finishes his career with 3 Super Bowls, right? Does Josh go down as the second best quarterback of all time? Should he?
Once I finish marveling over our 3 Super Bowl rings, I will give you yes for whatever you ask. Well, within reason.
But the reason I asked, though, is I mean, like, conversely, here you have Patrick Mahomes doing all this stuff and putting up all these numbers, but he's got perhaps the best coach in our era.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying in terms of winning percentage and all that kind of stuff. I mean, he could very easily match or beat Belichick's wins pretty soon, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, this is why that doesn't really matter to me, and I can't believe I'm gonna say this. Oh, brother, I must really be salty.
No,
ready. This is good for Josh Allen fans, and I'm just salty because it's half an hour before I got to leave. But no, I think given Josh Allen's rushing ability that Mahomes hasn't proven to have, he hasn't shown the touchdown production that Josh Allen has. As long as he doesn't fall off a cliff, I think with three Super Bowls, assuming Mahomes doesn't win like 10 more. Mm-hmm. It usurps what Mahomes has done. I think.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean that's where the tiebreaker comes in.
Yeah.
Because it's always going to be Mahomes, Josh, Lamar. That's going to be the top 3 until somebody we don't know about comes in. Mm-hmm. And it might even be them because they've been here so much longer than most of the league now. But I think I really would lend credence to the rushing aspect of Josh Allen in terms of what we get on top of the Super Bowls to put him over the top.
Wow. I actually agree with that. Like that's why I asked the question, because that's the mentality I have. I can't give Mahomes all this credit for being elite in this and that and the other thing when his head coach and the mainstay of the reason why he's had offensive success his entire career there is Andy Reid being there for as long as he wants. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? When you step into a job like that with an elite play caller who's also your head coach, what do you have to combat? What do you have to worry about? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We still have to worry about whether Joe Brady is going to want to stay here next year with all these offers that teams are going to want to give him.
He's going to get a lot.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like that brings about some some real turmoil when you're talking about offensive turnover. When you talk about offensive turnover, you're now talking about player turnover. Mm-hmm. When you talk about player turnover, you're now talking about chemistry that's got to be rebuilt. How many more times does Josh Allen have to go through developing chemistry with receivers and developing chemistry with offensive linemen and developing chemistry with tight ends and 12 formations and 13 and 11 personnel? Like, not having a run game, having a run game. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's had to deal with everything.
You know what's funny about that, though? Now you're not going to like this point.
My finger's ready.
That's so you know. That's where I think McDermott's his process worked, because you figure,
you going to the clink.
I got to go to the clink.
You got to go.
I got to make the point, then I'll go to the clink.
Okay, fine.
5 minute timeout for Key. But no, the way I look at it is, who's going to bring in Khalil Shakir? Who's going to bring in, I won't say Keon Coleman because we don't know enough about him yet, but Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid, Mac Hollins kind of players, and make it work. And it's not, and the only problem I have with who I forget, I don't have my phone, so don't cancel me, but whoever said he makes it work with inferior talent, he just makes it work with talent that we don't know we have. Mm-hmm. Khalil Shakir on another team, we could be saying, yo.
That was Sweat, by the way.
Sweat? Yeah. Oh, my man Sweat. So if we saw Khalil Shakir on another team, like, yo, how do we miss that?
Right.
You know, you see James Cook running up. This dude's amazing. Why did we miss that? You know, and Kincaid somewhere else, which we haven't seen what he can do in Buffalo, but you see him in the right system with the right, thing going on.
That's what I wanted to get to. Thank you, Key.
You got it.
Thank you. Keep going with your point.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say that, when you look at the Bills, you can't say we have inferior talent. We're just not used to having talent.
Yeah.
That's the thing. We're not used to having people that other people want. Normally it's, oh, man, I wish I had that guy. No, we got guys on this team not named Josh Allen that people do actually want. And when we get used to this point, when we understand, and and that's why I got 5 minutes so you can make your point. But this is where I think the McDermott thing worked. He got a team of underdogs who actually, some of them were good.
Yeah.
But as long as he doesn't let them know how good they are, they'll stay here.
Yeah.
And Josh will have his weapons. He'll have his line for his one. So I'll give that credit. But outside of that, I would love to go to SEC and farm those schools. I would love to go get some head cases from over there and say, I want those guys. But I think Buffalo fans need to understand that we have it at home. We're homegrown some places. Now, we do still need to go out there and get help. Don't let them sell you on everybody they picked. But there are some guys that we have picked. So to your Kincaid point, I'll go on my 5 minute timeout.
I just lost my train of thought. Now I'm just playing.
Dang it again?
Right, damn it. No, so this is a very unpopular opinion. Mm-hmm. I said on Tommy's show, mm-hmm. I think the Buffalo Bills can afford to trade Kincaid. I know that sounds crazy. Ariola's heard me say it. A few other people on here have heard me say it. Listen, I'm going to say
the whole name
that's on there. If it's Kevin, it's Kevin. If it's Jeff, it's Jeff. I'm going to say the first name. Okay? That's just how it is. You say what you want about that.
I got it. Say it with your chest except for this one.
Right, exactly. Nice job, Keith. Very nice job. I just got that. So I think with what we're seeing with Kincaid, it really comes down to this is looking more like a Dorsey pick more than anything else. It looks like Dorsey went to whoever and said, I need two viable tight ends, mm-hmm. right? The guys we have here right now, not going to work. Go get me a guy. Because the Bills couldn't get the receiver they wanted, they said, all right, well, let's just take this opportunity to get Dorsey a tight end since we couldn't get a receiver, right? And maybe that's what the case was. Maybe it wasn't. But when you look at what Dawson Knox is still doing when called upon, doesn't he just look like the kind of tight end that Buffalo needs? Mm-hmm. He's a big, physical, strong tight end that he's catching balls now. You know what I'm saying? When they're thrown, he's catching them.
Just don't look. Whatever you do, just don't look.
Dang, man, I was trying to move past it.
Whatever you don't look. I told you if you didn't look, you wouldn't have.
If you wouldn't have looked at him, I saw you look over there.
I can't help it.
So when like every time you see Knox make a catch and go down, it's forward. It's always forward, right? When we talk about our running backs, you want a physical running back that's going to always fall forward. When you see Kincaid, he's getting manhandled out there.
Yeah.
He tries to be physical. Yeah. Like that first down he got was probably the most physical we've seen him play. Right. And even then it looked like he was about to break himself to try and get that first down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And not that he's not a good player. I'm not saying he's not a good player. I just don't think he fits what this team needs from the tight end position in this style of offense.
Yeah, it would have been best to go get Darnell Washington in the third round.
Exactly, and that's exactly who I wanted. That's and he's wasting away in Pittsburgh.
Did you see what he did to Darius Slay?
I think
when he pushed him into the wall and Slay threw the points at him?
No.
He blocked him through the end zone into the wall, behind the end zone.
Wow. I would have loved to have a guy like that here with that size and that physicality and that speed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's an anomaly, yeah.
Right. So, for me, I think we have an opportunity to learn from the Kyrie Elam pick and realize, even though we call upon Kincaid and even though we value Kincaid at a certain level, he's not shown that he can produce the way a tight end drafted at his position should.
In this offense, especially.
In this offense, with this quarterback and the rest of these receivers around him. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And here we have Dawson Knox just going out there just making one-handed catches. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying?
Looking for somebody to hit, yeah.
Right. So that to me is like, okay, you're already paying Dawson Knox. Just keep paying him. You know what I mean? You don't have to get rid of him. I know what I was saying before in terms of get rid of Dawson Knox because you know his contract and you don't use him. Mm-hmm. But damn, every time you use Dawson Knox, he looks much better than Kincaid. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I can deal with the step down in terms of route running and stuff like that. He seems to be doing fine getting open now. You know what I'm saying? And meanwhile, Kincaid is making all these contested catches and tough catches and stuff like that. Like what does that say? That's saying he's not really his route running is not doing it. It's not enough. Right. He's not athletic enough. He's not strong enough. He's not fast enough. So he needs to go. I think, and the only reason I say he needs to go is because he's got value now. Yeah. Right?
That's what I was thinking. I mean, that's the only reason I didn't say anything. I'm with you on that.
So,
yeah. You figured I was going to say his catch percentage is 57%. 57% catch percentage. So success rate success rate is 53%.
Okay.
So 53% of the time he's making a play for a first down or a positive play that wasn't expected.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but that was my unpopular opinion. That was, I don't know. Nate says trade Kincaid for what? I mean, listen, at this point, you could probably get a third for him.
Yeah.
And I would take that. I would absolutely take a third for Kincaid. I know what it means. But before this dude even gets anywhere near another contract, you got to understand, if you value what Dawson Knox brings in terms of blocking, and this whole time he's been your blocking tight end, but he can also go out and make passes like that, well, then now you already know who's got more value to the team. Mm-hmm. And it's not Kincaid.
Right.
So give me a third. Give me a second if somebody's really desperate for a tight end, or they think they can get out of Kincaid what the Lions are getting out of Laporta, or what the Vikings are getting out of Hockenson. You know what I'm saying? If somebody thinks they can get that out of Kincaid, let him go.
Yeah, you would upset Cole Bishop there.
Hey, stop letting people get deep on you, and I'll value your opinion.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah, and that goes back. I was looking at Pro Football Focus scoring, and speaking of going deep on our defense, Cole Bishop and Cam Lewis, I think they kind of showed you why Taylor Rapp and Damar Hamlin have the job. Say what you want about Damar and Taylor Rapp, which I wasn't a big fan of Taylor Rapp, and obviously, honestly, Damar Hamlin, I like him. But he's somebody that is like my Levi Wallace. I would be cool with trying to upgrade him, but you can get worse. So we're hoping they get better this week. Kareem Jackson actually came in and played pretty well in spot duty. I know people were mad it wasn't Micah Hyde, but I'm not.
No, I'm not at all. Yeah.
No.
I'm actually glad because when we first signed him, I'm like, he needs to play. He can still play.
Oh, shoot.
I'm serious. He can still play. He can.
Yeah. No, and you're talking about Kareem?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm with you on that. And Milano, can we just touch that just for a second?
Yeah, for sure.
Why on God's green earth do you pull your leading tackler off the field when a guy that hasn't played in almost 2 years comes back on the field? I mean,
kind of looks like we should have gave him a break now, right?
I think you should have. Or why isn't he the sub package man?
Exactly.
Dorian Williams and Terrell Bernard, they've been playing for, what is it now, 11 games together. They didn't break anything. Matt Milano was coming. You ran a base anyway, base 4-3. Milano can be your base. Those other two can be your nickel package. I know it doesn't sound good, but when you look at Milano and all the rust, I'll take Dorian Williams, who's been playing the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely will. They mess up synergy too much. I mean, that's my only point with that. You mess up synergy, and I thought this was a perfect opportunity to try that Taron Johnson, the base safety, or what do you call it, box safety.
Oh, okay.
I thought this would have. You had DeMar out and you had Taylor out. Why not?
Yeah.
So you pull him off the field to put Dorian Williams on the field when you could have just taken one of the two safeties that aren't really safeties off the field and let him play pretty much where he already plays.
Yeah.
So
Cam Lewis looked pretty good though.
He was all right. He missed a couple of tackles. I was like,
right.
But outside of that, yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
No, that's it, man.
I do then.
You got to get out of here.
No, I got something else.
Oh, you do? Go. Let's go.
Justin Hunter.
Justin Hunter.
The phenom from Colorado. Yes, I said it. Who everybody says is going third overall. Yes, I said it.
Oh, you mean Travis Hunter?
Travis Hunter.
Okay.
My bad. I put it in my notes. Justin Hunter. Good Lord Jesus. But anyway, dude, you got to have some thicker skin. Some thicker skin for real. Your girl was wrong.
What happened?
Oh, you ain't hear about it? At the Heisman weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the meet and greets. He's taking pictures with fans and sit third and trying to mingle.
Mm-hmm.
This girl sitting on the couch having a hissy fit saying, how long is this going to take? They got it on video. How long is this going to take? As long as I say so.
Right.
This is my future. And if you can understand it, guess what? Hit the bricks. Fast forward to the Heisman Trophy Award ceremony. The Heisman Trophy Award for the 2025 season, Travis Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Deion stands up. Whoever the woman next to him is stands up. Girlfriend don't stand up. Deion got to lean over his main thing, his dying piece over here, and tap her. Get your ass up. So now she stands up. The media tore her. They tore her loose, tore her butt in half. Justin Hunter comes to her rescue.
Travis.
Yes. Yes, him. Hunter.
Boy, you were staunch on that keyboard. You Justin Hunter.
Right. Capital J. Travis Hunter comes to her aid on Twitter. Talks about my girlfriend is torn up inside. She's passed out drunk now because she was so hurt by all the vitriol that she's received. Why are you defending this woman? I get it. It's your fiance. Whatever. You know what they're going to do when they find out how you feel about that? Have a bad game. They're going to attack your woman. Go ahead. Go to New York. What the first thing they do over there? They will tear you in half. They will disintegrate you. Furthermore, he was all in her DMs before they got together. She said she left him on. She said she left him on read.
This is his fiance that said
His
that?
fiance left him on read. They got that nice $500,000, $750,000 house right now, Teslas. She said she left him on read. He wasn't her type. Oh, that house, that car, Mr. Travis Hunter is now your type because you found out who he was.
Wow.
So, Travis, ask CeeDee Lamb.
You right, Sweat. You right.
What'd he say? I got my phone.
She won't be around long. Once he gets to the NFL, he'll ditch her.
Ask CeeDee Lamb what happens when you grab his cell phone.
You ain't gonna be around too long.
Dude, I fact check it. That man is single.
Yeah.
CD Lamb ain't got no spouse, no girlfriend. He's single.
Yep.
Because that girl grabbed his phone on draft day.
Yep.
That didn't mean don't touch. I mean, you're done.
If you think Travis Hunter ain't gonna see it the same way, somebody gonna be in his ear like, "Yo, dog, you know why she around right now."
He's super. Well, he's supposedly super nice. He's naive as hell.
Obviously.
He doesn't go out. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. He doesn't do anything bad. He walks around his house on Instagram in onesies, like anime onesies. So he's like a horse this day. He's a unicorn that.
I gotta follow this dude. He sounds like somebody I should be following.
You might need to.
Yeah.
He's a gamer.
Yeah.
But he's a nerd. It just happens to be really good at football.
I'm cool with nerds, man.
Well, I am too. But my point is, when you're a nerd, you don't have. If she left him on red, what did he do when he was in high school? What did he do when he was at that small town dude with the big smile that really, we don't know what he's going to be.
Yeah.
Find out he about to have some money. It was just like that. After his, second game, they're like, yo, this dude about to be something. Yep. Here she come. Travis, you ain't watching, but watch what I'm saying. Be out. Pieces. Deuces. Go.
Oh, Laura, you so patient. She says, I'm sure he loves her, but she does need to learn social etiquette. True. She said they're so young though. Give them time to learn. Not that. Listen,
nah.
if Travis Hunter was my son,
no, yeah.
Hey, son. Nah, man.
Like prenup now.
Listen. There's a reason Mahomes stopped letting his wife talk.
Yeah.
She could have got him in big trouble.
Big trouble, brother too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing. He don't let them talk no more.
No, and that's the thing. Give her a prenup, see what happens.
Kev said he act whipped.
Big time.
Really?
Oh, big time. Big time.
Wow, man. I hope he breaks out, man.
And the thing is, give her a prenup, see what she does. She gonna freak.
Yeah.
And that tells you all you need to know. Well, it should. Yeah. But some of these athletes don't get it. They don't get it.
Yeah.
And furthermore, and this is this example. I mean, we all know from example, our own lives. There are people that don't like our significant others. I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
Like them or not. I got to deal with this. If you like me enough, you come around.
Exactly.
So I'm not going to go on a tirade defending. No. Whatever the case may be. I know what my household is.
Yeah.
So,
Travis. I think T was the first girl we liked that you brought around, bro.
Hey,
she was the first because you had a couple.
I had a couple.
We was like, I don't like that one. And when T came around, I was like, all right, she's straight.
We fall down, but we get up.
Oh my gosh, yeah, man, yeah. Sweat says plus his mom is in his ear too. Yeah.
Mama ain't playing that. I hope. Mama, please.
Yeah, I man, convince your son that ain't no good, man. Ain't no good.
Nah, but you know what I will do if he breaks up with her. You know what I'm gonna do?
What you gonna do?
I'm gonna send him a case.
He gonna need a case.
I'm gonna send him a case.
He gonna need a case.
Something better than beer.
Sit down with a good game.
And something better than beer.
With a nice glass bottle of some
Reeves tea.
Oh, that's heaven.
Fresh out of the cooler.
That's heaven.
With the condensation outside. Just picture it. Pouring down. Knock a couple back.
Nothing like it.
Take you to Narnia, if you will.
Narnia, that's
And you know why? Because one of the parts is refreshing. One of the parts is delicious. Two of those parts are definitely healthy. He gonna need it. He needs that hydration for those long games he's gonna have in the NFL.
Yep.
But that's what you can expect when there's 4 ingredients. It ain't gonna slow you down, baby. It's gonna pick you up.
That's
it ain't gonna give you wings, but the next best thing. I don't even drink tea, but let me tell you, it's a good drink. It's a very good drink. What you doing? Head on over to Reeves, Travis, and get your supply. Not a case, not a year supply. Do it.
Do it now. Do it now. Yeah.
Don't just get the case. But for the rest of us that don't have that kind of money, just get the case. Trust me, it's worth it. So what do I know? See for yourself. Head on over to Reeves Tea. Put in Post Podium Podcast. Let them know who sent you.
No doubt. Let me just do a quick check, see where we at. While I do that, I'm going to. Do I
owe anybody anything off the Dollar Tree menu?
Oh, we at $4.95 right now.
Oh, $2. $3. I got to dish out.
That's right, $3. You got somebody getting some McChickens up there.
Yeah, they getting some McChickens off the
kid. Did we already put the sound volume down here? Let me see.
I didn't touch it.
No, we didn't. Okay,
Uh-oh.
so here we go. All right, if you're hearing that music, that means it's time for us to jump out the window. All right, if you have not done so already, we have 495. We need to get to 500. So if you please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell, and make that thing
ring-a-ling-a-ling,
so you can get notifications when we send notifications. Like, as I stated at the beginning of the show, our 500 subscriber, we will send you a Post Podium Podcast hoodie. Right now, the ones that we have made are all white with the red and blue Post Podium Podcast design. I think it's full chest Post Podium Podcast design, our logo. And then on the back, we got the All Truth No Sodium logo. It's dope. Y'all gonna love it.
Yes, Ariola, we did it with you in mind.
No doubt. So listen, keep an eye out for that, because as soon as we hit the 500, that's gonna be ready for y'all to buy. All right. Our links, social media links, bam, right there at the bottom of the screen there. Those links are in the description of this video. If you want to hit us up, if you want to communicate with us and just talk ball or whatever, that's where you got to find us. Okay. With that being said, this has been the Post Podium Podcast, home of the All Truth No Sodium takes. I have been your co-host, Aramis.
And for Melly Mac, this is 40 Keys.
That's it. We out of here. Coach
Deuces.
D's Corner coming next week. Look out for that too. Y'all have a great night.
Deuces.